It's the cold hard truth. Everyone really want to know what's going on with her show. Just get on the air and you will know it's Sandra. The queen of the mile road is here, helping people from everywhere. Get on the phone and you will hear Sandra. Now she will tell you how it goes, but don't you ever step on her toes, 'cause you will hear the cold hard truth from Sandra. They say she's the hero in town, helping people from all around. You get a call, your money is found, it's Sandra. Some will call her late at night just to say that there is a fight, and she will not just leave it alone. She'll get up and call on the phone, and when politics starts on her show, everyone really wants to know the way the things will really go with Sandra. And some will start to criticize, get on the show and tell pure lies, but someday we'll realize it's Sandra. And when they start to argue again, she'll pull the heads to the wind, and soon you will be a friend of Sandra. 'Cause every day everyone wanna hear from Sandra. 'Cause every day everyone wanna hear from Sandra. 'Cause every day everyone got to hear from Sandra. 'Cause every day everyone got to hear from Sandra.
Yeehaw! What can I say? Love a good country song. I gotta tell you the truth. How is everybody doing? Happy Friday. What an amazing day yesterday was. Hope that you guys all enjoyed American Thanksgiving. Oops, there we go. I was just responding to someone who sent me a message yesterday, and they said, "Oh, happy Thanksgiving. If you celebrate American Thanksgiving," I had to chuckle to myself. I'm like, listen, if Thanksgiving was every week, I would be celebrating it. We'd be in a lot of trouble. Because who doesn't love a good turkey? I mean, seriously, the food was good yesterday. Congratulations to all of the chefs that put it together, because, you know, you guys did an amazing job of getting all those turkeys out. Big shout out to Chicken. I know that they had their hands full yesterday as well. And yeah, there's a lot of cooking. Lots of families in Cayman actually celebrate American Thanksgiving. It's a great holiday. And then we're going to turn around and we're going to do it again on the 7th. And we'll be celebrating Cayman Thanksgiving. Haha, why not? Turkey twice. And then we're going to have turkey again at Christmas. Honey chill. So I love turkey. One of my favorite meats. My daughter was asking me last night. She's like, "What's the difference between a turkey and a chicken?" And I said, well, they're very similar. Turkeys are a little bit bigger than chickens, obviously. And honestly, I think turkeys taste better. I don't know about anybody else, but I love me a good turkey. So, and I said, you know, we normally reserve turkeys for special occasions like Thanksgiving and stuff. She's like, oh. And she was saying this as she was chewing on a chicken leg. She's like, oh, okay. So she opted not to have turkey yesterday. She had a choice. I'm like, do you want turkey? Nope. She's like, no, I'll just do a rotisserie chicken. So we grabbed a rotisserie chicken from the store, and she just had chicken for dinner. So I told you guys, poor little thing, she sprained her wrist. So she has to take medication, and then she's got to eat. She's not the world's biggest eater, so she's got to eat in order to take the medication. And she's 9 years old now. And this is the first time she's actually taken pain meds that are, you have to swallow, like tablets. She's growing up. Oh my gosh. So I don't have to give her the liquid anymore. She like actually took the tablet. I was like, wow. It's little things. It is absolutely the little things that make you go, oh my gosh, they're getting so big. Anyway, I want to thank everyone who participated in our telethon yesterday, in our pledge. It was truly an amazing day. Like I said, I've done this once before. And yesterday really just brought the community together in such an amazing way. I'm still sending out the links for the account. So I'm trying to go through everyone on my list. But if I haven't gotten to you, we did do a story yesterday on this as well. And in the story is the account details. So please feel free to go to the story and also pull the information from there. It's an FCIB account, but I know a lot of you have been reaching out saying that, you're sending the funds across. And a lot of you are just sending me proof, which I just forward on to Noli so that he can keep track of all of the donations and stuff himself. So thank you guys again. Really, really just an amazing community effort. Now, as positive as we try to make things, sometimes some people end up getting their feelings hurt. And there was one individual who reached out to say that, they were kind of hurt that I hadn't done that for them. And so I do want to address this. I'm not going to get too specific about their situation, but I really hope that you guys recognize that there are no two situations, quite frankly, that are the same. And so a lot of times I have to make the challenging call to use my discretion, and my discretion is utilized in, different ways. Obviously, I have to make a judgment call. I do not ever want to overdo my welcome, even with something like this within the community. So I think, sometimes the community gets a bit community fatigue with even just helping out and getting things done. So I cautiously ask for help in the most extreme of cases. And so that's the first note, right? And that is why I also don't want people come forward, because we get requests all the time. Everybody and their sister now has a GoFundMe account for all sorts of stuff. And I don't have the capacity to verify the veracity of these accounts and if what they're saying is true and this and that. And, so I can't really be asking people to assist on somebody else's behalf when I don't even know if the request is like a genuine request. And you would be surprised the stuff that people do. Like, I know of a young lady who was reaching out for help for her father. And then when I started to dig into it a little bit, because you guys know I like to dig in, I like to verify what people are telling me. Lo and behold, her dad was actually getting medical assistance from Cineco and the government. So he didn't need, all the things that she was claiming. He did not need any public assistance. Now, I know in some instances, Cineco's assistance is only partial, but she also had a reputation for scamming people. And so, like I said, once you're known to be dishonest or a scammer, people are going to be less hesitant to assist you. And of course, you can only expect that. That's only normal. So yeah, I vet people as best that I possibly can. Okay. So there is that. Good morning, caller.
Good morning.
Good
You're on
morning.
the air.
Yes, I am.
Oh, well, I need to turn on my tablet to take this quick call. If you have time to just go across the old immigration office and ask for Nikki, and she will get the $50. So if you don't get it today, she will tell me another place where she working tomorrow. But if you have time today,
Okay.
go by the old
Just send
immigration
it.
office and ask for Nikki.
Send it
And she
to
will
me.
get the
Send it to me
$50.
on WhatsApp. Because like I
All
said,
right.
we are
Okay.
literally live
All
on
right
air.
then.
So I might not
All
even
right.
remember that
All
2 seconds later.
right.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, Darren.
All right. Bye. Yeah.
Okay. So yes. So, I have to make my discretion about a lot of elements of this. And one of the things that also is a bit discretionary. So a lot of times when people come forward, we will put your requests on the community page. We do have a CMR community page, and it is designed exactly for things like this, right? Requests like GoFundMe requests and so on. And so if you ask me to post something and you see that I posted on the regular page, you know that you're special to even get that. Okay. But there's such a thing as comparing apples to apples and oranges to oranges. There's certain types of requests, and I know that for the individuals that are the recipients, they think their request is just as important as someone who has had a death sentence, basically, is what ALS is. I mean, trust me, you don't come out of ALS. There's no cure for ALS, right? I know that they think that, their situation is just the same, although it isn't. It's not about a health issue. It's not a life or death situation. And so they do feel a way about it. And I'm sorry that we cannot help everyone. I don't have unlimited funds in my bank account where I can just be like, let me just take out a check for $25,000 to help you get a new vehicle or get this or get that. That's just not how it works. And so it was really unfortunate yesterday for me to hear that there was someone whose feelings was hurt over what we were doing because they felt like I had not assisted them. I wish I could assist everyone. Like I really, really do. And I know there's lots of genuine need in the community, but unfortunately I can't. So I have to pick and choose. And a telethon like event, like what we did yesterday, is very unusual for me to be able to even pull that off and to do that. And it's not something that I'm going to do in short, it's not something that I'm going to be doing every single day. So, I'm sorry that I cannot assist as much as I can. I will. So I posted requests on behalf of this person. There are fundraisers that are happening this weekend. I will say to you, go out and support, buy a plate of food, help out with these causes. Because I do think, again, living in such an amazing community, those are the types of things that we will do. Okay. And yet there's only so much that I can do. All right, Miss Bonnie, YouTube should be up. I sent out the link already. So if you're not finding it, don't forget now that the YouTube channel feed, I should say, is split into vertical and horizontal. So I see 40 people on the horizontal one. And then let me see what the vertical one is looking like. No, 75 people on the vertical and 37 are the horizontal. So you now have a choice with whether you'd like to see the show. And if you're watching it like on a device like a TV, the horizontal definitely makes sense. If you're on your phone, the vertical probably makes more sense for you guys. And you'll see the difference, like it'll tell you. I'll just show you a little screenshot here. But yeah, I do what I can. And, I hope that you guys certainly can understand where I'm coming from. And, it kind of put a little damper on yesterday for me, but rest assured that I will continue to always try to help people in the community where I can, regardless, right? You also have to be cognizant of the fact that personalities sometimes matter, and you're not always going to get people willing to help certain personalities. And I know this sounds horrible, but this is a reality check. You know, a lot of people, they don't take to certain people. And so when you go knocking on the door and you said, this is the cause, they looking at you wonky eyed like, girl, you really think I got any money? But I know for a fact that they find it for other persons and other causes. And I get that as human beings. I can certainly understand that if someone has ever kind of rubbed you a particular way, you can have the biggest heart in the world. Sometimes you're less inclined to step forward and to assist, right? And that's why I say sometimes we've just got to put these things aside, especially at politics. And I want to thank, we had some politicians yesterday, once I explained the cause to them, because as I was coming off air, I was sending them direct messages. And so a few of them have stepped up to the plate and are likewise making a donation as well. And we had another person who made a $1,000 donation. So thank you so much to those two persons who were financially able to do so and who really stepped up to the plate. And there were people afterwards who messaged and said, hey, I missed the show today, but I intend to make a donation as well. So I think what we did yesterday was certainly appreciative. Noli is really hopefully on his way to getting, you know, whatever medical bed and whatever other equipment that he needs also. So yeah, good morning, Evelyn. Good morning, Patricia, Abby. Ms. Della says, and this is why you check before you become a donor. And again, because I had gone to see Noli, I am familiar with, you know, no lies being told. He is really dependent like 24/7 on other people. And some people don't know anything about ALS. And they were messaging me yesterday and saying, you know, what is that? What does that mean? You know, I want to go visit him. And sometimes I imagine that he's probably not always up for visitors because this diagnosis and it progressed very, very quickly with him. You know, like he is doing treatments now, which he says is helping with like the breathing part, because for a minute there, he was constantly on a CPAP machine to just help ease his breathing because he couldn't even breathe on his own. So, you know, it is a difficult situation. Miss Lucille, good morning. Says Sandy, lots of blessings on you all at home. Don't feel bad about what you did yesterday. I wish money could keep everyone on this earth. We would keep each other alive in sickness. Miss Jean says, this is so rude for someone to challenge your delicious, is that the right word? Reference donations. I don't think delicious might have been the word you meant, but that's what it says. Noli has always been someone who goes out of his way to assist others. He has a big heart. His condition is serious, and we will lend our support. Noli might be vocal, but his voice has netted results. I will donate today. Thank you so much. Good morning, Sean. Brother Sean joining us from Cayman Brack. How's Cayman Brack, my darling? Ingrid, good morning to you. And Island Pearl said, did the vehicle have insurance? And from the time the incident happened and all the fundraising that was done, you mean to tell me she hasn't even reached at least halfway by now? Unfortunately not, Island Pearl. And I think that is, unfortunately, you know, that's indicative of the fact that people, listen, there's certain causes yesterday that I could have sat here and done the exact same telethon and begged you guys on my knees, and we would not have even reached the $2,000 mark. Like, I am a realist and I understand certain things. And I think we just have to be honest as well. So, you know, as much, again, as I want to help, sometimes the results are not going to be what you think. And I think that people think, and go, oh, Sandy did that for me, and I need this and I need that, then I would get the exact same result. And I can assure you, you wouldn't. Just take it from me, because I know. Yeah. So what can I say? You know, I'm here to help, you know, as much as decisions. Oh, thank you. I'm here to help as much as I can, but I think we also need to add an element of realism to it. And, you know, there are people who are just, there was no insurance on the vehicle, and there are people who are less inclined to give to help you get a new vehicle. And I get that is your livelihood. I totally understand that. And still, yes, it has now been months, and I don't think very much has been received by way of donations. I think that's indicative of people like, well, it's a car, it's a work vehicle, go to the bank, figure it out. And it is what it is. So yeah, I don't know what else to say. But yes, Hermes, you're absolutely right. Somebody's health and having an ALS diagnosis, you cannot even compare to replacing a vehicle. And I don't really care what the vehicle's used for. I mean, there's some people in the community right now who need special needs vehicles to help their children. They need like a van that can, help them, wheelchair accessible and stuff like that. And that's important too, without a doubt. But, you're less likely to get donations for that versus a medical bed just so that someone can sit up and breathe, So my suggestion really in situations like this is to try to find a source of getting the vehicle where you can then go get a bank loan. But I get that requires having a job, and then that requires making monthly payments. I totally understand that. But if that's the only option, then that is the only option, So sometimes we have to do that. Okay. Yeah. Can't say anything more than what I've said. All right, folks. Everybody else is good. Happy Friday. And like I said, I will continue today to send out the account information. So I have your numbers, and I went through quite a few yesterday. If you want to message me, sometimes if you ping a message, that's also a really easy way to for me to respond. This person says, "Good morning, TD. I'm in my feelings too to send you hug and love and thank you for being you." Aw, you don't run yourself hot for people. No, you made Jesus smile. Yes, sir. And he's the only one that matters. Yes, I'll send you some information about it. It depends. All right. Your posts have a knack. Someone says, "Good morning." This person is asking for some assistance as well, but in a different kind of way. So hold on. Let me just screen grab this one. So big shout out to the content creators who made it through this week. We had so many good shows. Did you guys catch Books and Bush Tea last night with Aniki Brown? Make sure you go back and watch it if you missed it. Very, very good show. And there's a few shows that we missed, but we discovered a little bit of a technical issue that we didn't know what was going on. So there's something to do with some codecs and all this kind of stuff. But now that we know, it's Mac users that are having an issue, believe it or not. Now that we know, we can certainly address that. So this person says, "Good morning, ma'am. Asking once again for your assistance in finding a rental property that accepts DFS. We pulled up alongside each other on the road yesterday, and I wanted to quickly ask again, but was unable to do so because of traffic." Oh, don't ever approach me when I'm sitting in the car in traffic, child, because this ain't Jamaica where you get out you get out and you jump in my car and be like, or roll down the window and I'm gonna be talking to you. No, bubble, we don't do that in Cayman streets. Hoping you had a wonderful day. Your posts have a knack in getting responses. That's why I ask. All right, so let me put this here on the show since they're asking right now in live time. This gentleman is looking for housing for him and his daughter, and they are clients of DC. What's it called? It used to be NAU. Now it's called Financial Services. So Department of Financial Services, DFS, yes. So they are looking for a place. Here's the details. His daughter, he says, my daughter's well-being depends on it. She's currently living with her aunt. My daughter's mom died in 2019, and she's experiencing difficulties in that household. Well, anyway, all sorts of stuff going on in the household. And so he's looking for, I thought this was, oh Lord, I thought this told me, hold on, what he was looking for. Oh, here we go. Wrong message. That was the explanation of the why. So they are looking for a 2-bedroom. It's obviously him and his daughter. I'm not sure how old she is. Does he ever say? So 2-person somewhere in West Bay. See, this is where it gets difficult now because, you might have someone who'll take DFS, but they're all the way in town. But yes, he's looking for 2-bedroom, no further than Red Bay or Prospect, so a little bit flexible. Not sure of the budget. Okay, I'm thinking maybe around $1,500 to $2,000 per month. DFS sent me an email saying that I need a rental agreement or lease before they can process the application. So if anyone has anything that can help this gentleman and his daughter, let me try and find out how old the daughter is. Kind of for some tenants that matters. I think she's at least a teenager. So if you can, Department of Financial Assistance, thank you. If you can assist, by all means, please do so. Someone is saying, good morning, Miss Sandy. Not sure if you're still up for a meeting, but are you available? Now I need to go back and see who the heck this is. Oh, gosh. Lord have mercy. Been months, been weeks. I've been waiting to hear from you. Okay. Do you do another TV program? Because I can't find it. So the best thing to do, folks, is to join the channel. I keep telling you all this. Join the WhatsApp channel, because in the WhatsApp channel, we will send out the details of the shows, when they're airing, et cetera, okay? So we post it on social media, and I know sometimes things get kind of lost in social media. So having it come directly into your inbox is very, very critical, I think, to being able to get that information as quickly as possible. So follow the channel and turn on your notifications, because if you follow the WhatsApp channel, by default, WhatsApp has notifications for channels on mute, so they're silent. And you won't hear it until you take that little bell and you click that, because the little bell has an arrow through it. That means it's muted. Once you unmute it, then you'll get the notifications like you do any other message. So yes, every single day, we have at least 2 shows, but on average, probably 3 to 5 shows now. And the content creators are doing an amazing job. I really want you guys to support them. Their shows are great. So we're streaming them on social media, but I will tell you that Facebook now does live streams a little bit differently. So if you notice, most times when we go live, it's not showing up at the home page anymore. So if you follow the Facebook page, it should give you a notification that it's live. But a lot of times it doesn't show up on the primary page. It's under a tab that they have now changed. So they have like a live tab, and that's where things are showing up. This morning, it's on the primary page, but I can tell you a lot of times it just isn't. So yesterday evening, we had an amazing show with, like I said, Books and Bush Tea. Aniki does a great job. She is interviewing all sorts of artists, not artists, my apologies, authors for her book show, all things literary. So you'll find it on YouTube, Facebook, or Facebook channel, and then also on our website. So cmrtv.com. When it's live, you can go there, and then afterwards you can go and watch the pages as well. So this man just confirmed that his daughter is a teenager. She's 14 years old. So if you have a place that a 14-year-old and a father, 2-bedroom, please reach out. So today is Friday, and this is the lineup. Obviously, the cold hard truth in the morning. Sabrina speaks at 5 to 7. Then we have Authentic at 7. Throwing It Down with Chef Brown is coming up tonight. Oh my God, you guys have got to watch this. All Caymanian dishes first. Yes, honey child. We got stew conch and lobster. And when he comes to do his show, I be eating so good. Delicious. And then our first premiere video of Real Talk, Love and Lies is going to be live tonight at 10 o'clock. So you guys can actually call in. So make sure you mark your calendar. You got a relationship question. You'll get to meet Alfred, who is incognito, who will be the host of the show. And I know he's going to probably be inviting guests onto his show as well as a co-host, but you got to tune in. Alfred is on tonight at 10 o'clock. So that's going to be amazing. And that's going to be a really good show, I think, as well. All these shows are amazing and really, really great. But make sure that you tune in. So, yeah, that's going to be awesome. Lots of good shows. Like there's something for everyone. There's different types of cooking shows. Remember a culture show that we talked about? Irvin says, I need to see this Mr. Alfred, the mystery guy. So yeah, we put this up daily. So I'm going to post this here shortly for today's lineup so that you can hopefully remember. But yeah, I want you guys to not miss a beat when it comes to CMR TV. Listen, not for nothing, but these content creators are doing something that nobody else has done in the Cayman Islands. And that is bring you authentic, genuine voices, genuine shows where you have a variety of things to watch that are all pretty much, or most of it, locally produced. We do have some regional and international people as well. So for example, we have Marla Dukran. She does a bi-monthly show. I want to go and see her show from the other day. Did really, really well. She was interviewing some people in the region. But yeah, I mean, listen, these guys are doing phenomenal work, you know? And so go and have a look. Check it out, honey child. Check it out. Very good. Mind Matters, Imposter Syndrome. Lots of good shows on tap. Okay. We have this weekend, we've got our Art Beat show. We have something animation, which is like for the kids. So on Saturday, we'll have like more kids lineup. Sunday, we got church services. Tune in. It's good stuff. So I will be on with Real Talk, manning the phone lines. So for now, you can call the 936 number for that show. And then, of course, Chef Brown is in the kitchen at 8 o'clock. So you can see all of his recipes. Authentic is then showing at 7. So yeah, lots of great stuff going on over here at CMR. So I congratulate all of the content creators, and we'll be bringing more on board. All right, Ms. Della says the level of begging on this island has become unbearable, and some people just don't have any shame. Well, that is also a very true statement. Unfortunately, you know. Yeah, I mean, we all want people to be there to bail us out when we find a situation, we're in a situation, but you can't count on nobody but yourself and the good Lord, honey child. And you know what they say about the good Lord? He helps those who help themselves. So try to put things in place, I think, always that that ensure, you know, I tell people, I know it's easy to not, like, I don't want to pay insurance because, you know, I'll only do the bare minimum, the third party, but then something happens and you realize that the third party just isn't enough. And a lot of times, especially with older vehicles, what you pay for third party versus what you pay for full comprehensive really isn't that much of a difference in any event. And I know that I think at a certain age, they don't really do full comprehensive anymore. So I guess there's that. But yeah, it's tough. But you know, that's what insurance is for, honey child. Insurance is for stuff that just happens. Duke Marion says, too many people in Cayman. Be proactive and win. Be reactive and lose. Okay. Happy Friday, Diamond Princess. So good to see you. Are the shows after Sabrina live? So let me explain. Some are hybrid. It really depends. They will show up live for you, but in the real world, they are actually pre-recorded. So some of them are pre-recorded. Some of them are actually like a hybrid. So they might be there live, airing a pre-recorded bit, and then they jump on live. So you as the viewer will actually never know really if it's live or not, because it'll show up as live for you, if that makes any sense. Yeah. So that's just how it is. But in the world of TV, that's how TV is. Like if you sit down at 8 o'clock and you're watching 90 Day, which I was watching last night, I'm not going to lie, I had to catch up on some of my stuff. 90 Day Fiance, whatever. Yeah, that's not live. It's at some point they recorded it and then they play it, right? And so shows like that are never in real time. Like they were recorded months ago and now a lot has happened since then. So our shows are a little bit closer in real time than that. The government has come on board and they will be, some of them will be doing some shows as well. So someone is missing a dog named Trigger. Lord, he needs a good haircut, please and thank you. Yes, I will post him for you, but I hate to see y'all send me these pictures with your dogs looking like ragamuffins. What area is Trigger missing? That's always an important thing when you tell me where from, like what area. Georgetown, this is a big island now, so I need to know where he's missing from. But here's little Trigger. He probably ran off to somebody's yard who's going to give him a bath and a haircut. When you have these dogs, I know because I have one, they're mixed breed and some of them are mixed with all kind of stuff. They're pretty much mongrels at this point. They're small breed mongrels. And some of them are like mine is a Shih-Tzu, but then he's different than Coco because Coco had more poodle than Shih Tzu in her. And their coat, they have like an undercoat and a top coat. That's why I tend to keep mine short, because if they have like this where you let it grow out, you have to comb that every single day because it gets matted very, very easy. The undercoat gets matted, the top coat gets matted, and then it's very, very difficult to keep them looking decent. And it's painful when you try to leave it for even a couple of days and then go through and try to brush them out. I don't have time to comb my own hair every day, much less Zeus's hair. So I keep him short-haired so he doesn't have these issues. Sometimes for summer, we take it down low so that he's cooler, and then we let it grow out for a couple months. You know, during the cooler months, he has a little bit more fur on him. And, but yeah, this one looks like a hot mess. Poor little thing. He needs braces too while you're at it. But keep collars on your dogs. Yes, I always do a summer cut. Trust me, KK, and that summer cut lasts all year long. But please keep collars on your dogs. December the 13th, I want every single one of you to mark your calendars. Because the, who is it? Is it the Humane Society? Well, somebody, I'm going to get you the details. They are doing a chipping where you can get the microchip put in. I think it's Agriculture Department for a nominal fee. I have had past dogs and I haven't done Zeus yet, so I do need to have him done. You have the microchip. So if they get lost, all of the vets and local rescue agencies in Cayman, they have the scanners, and they can scan your dog and help you get reunited with your dogs a lot quicker. So get your dogs microchipped. I think it's like $10 or something. It's nothing. So please take advantage of the special and ensure that your dogs are getting, microchipped and properly vaccinated and stuff. You've got to keep on top of these things if you have pets at home. So if you know where Trigger is, apparently he got trigger happy and ran off somewhere. So I don't know. But yes. Okay. So we're going to get into the nitty gritty of this story that I'm sure that most of you have been following since we published it last night about Jamaican criminals in Cayman. Well, not for nothing, but anybody who lives here, this probably is of no real surprise to anyone. It's certainly not a surprise to me that we have gang members from all over the world, but certainly from Jamaica, who are living right here in the Cayman Islands amongst us. And these individuals, as we now can probably confirm, this blogger posted some stuff that really was food for thought, are coming here to run from and to hide when the things get a little bit hot in Jamaica. I'm certainly not surprised by that. I don't think anybody would be, that this is happening. I want you guys to listen to what this blogger had to say. So he has a YouTube channel, and he spent quite a bit of time talking about the guys that we featured over the weekend for finding a man's wallet and then going around and having, a shopping spree at all these different, they were like, when you go Christmas shopping, you hit the malls in Miami and you go kind of hard for a couple because you're just there for the weekend. So you go really hard. That's what these guys were doing. Oh my God. They were out there like this Croc store, Polo store, going to the perfume shop. Let's keep going. The shoe shop. They were just like on it. I would have been worn out from shopping already, but when it's not your money, apparently you're motivated to do even more shopping than usual. So have a listen to this.
Now the criminal element in the white.
Wait, can I tell you something funny? When I was preparing this little snippet yesterday, I had to do so much correction on the captions because the captions don't understand what this man was saying, yo. Mandeville, it didn't catch that. So many little words, but I thought it was so funny. And at one point I was like asking my husband, honey, how do you spell this buoy gang? Like, how do you think they spell it? He's like, you don't know. It's patois. It's going to be phonetics. I'm like, okay, I'll just guess how they might spell it, but I'm not sure if that's the proper name. But here we go.
Now the criminal element in the white marina, we are going to zero in by him because it are going to leave from out of Cayman now and drop locally in the parish of St. Elizabeth. So after that scamming in Cayman took place, the criminal element in question in the white marina, identified only by his alias as Termite, fled to St. Elizabeth in Jamaica. He is originally from the Heatsfield district in the Monroe area in St. Elizabeth. Now this criminal element is said to be a member of the Boy gang, which is in St. Elizabeth. And the leader for that particular gang is presently on your screen, identified as Sean Eneva. Now Sean Eneva is presently behind bars, charged with firearm-related offenses, to wit, robbery with aggravation, and knockings and clappings with intent. So as I stated earlier, Termite is a part of the Boy gang. Now who remember this criminal element here presently on your screen? An upcoming dancehall artist who was definitely not among the smartest and get him head splash out like a tomatoes in a Mandeville. So that is when he contacted his father and his older brother, who were both living in the Cayman Islands at the time. The father do him for do, pull some strings, cross the T's, dot the I's, and that is how he got into the Cayman Islands. Now shortly after his arrival in the Cayman Islands, because of criminality, criminal involvement in criminal activities, the father and the older brother got deported back to Jamaica.
All right. So there's quite a bit more thanks that he actually has to say. And needless to say, this is not shocking if you have common sense. And quite frankly, if you follow along, this would certainly not be the first time that we've had this sort of situation happen in the Cayman Islands, especially after Hurricane Ivan, folks. We saw this quite a bit, and we knew that it was happening. And because we had sort of paused, more rigorous checks and balances, and in fact, you guys might not remember, but this is in part why we had to implement the visa system, because it was really obvious that we were allowing certain criminals into the Cayman Islands. Smooth Cruz says, termite, that says it all. Oh, the aliases are so funny. Oh my gosh, I got to tell you the truth. They're really hilarious. But yes, and I said to you guys on Monday's program that we were reliably informed on Sunday that one of these guys had ran back to Jamaica as soon as, I guess, we posted his picture. And this now, I've reached out to the RCIPS. I've spoken to Border Control, France Manderson, all these guys. I said, listen, you guys need to kind of pull it together a little bit. When you know that a crime has been committed on a Saturday, somebody went on a $4,000 plus shopping spree. They were all Jamaicans. It's not going to take a genius reporter or a genius super detective from Scotland Yard to figure out that, of course, the next logical step is that these guys are going to hop on that plane and get the heck out of here. So they arrested one fairly quickly. But RCIPS, welcome to 2025, because now you have the, you've got social media at your disposal, channels like Everything 345, CMR. All you do is send out an all points bulletin, say, hey, we're looking for these guys. And the airport needs to get it as well to make sure that they're now not jumping in a plane. Anybody who booked a plane ticket after that thievery and scamming on Saturday, trying to get out of Jamaica, that should have raised red flags right away. And they needed to be watching the border a little bit closer. So, it's really sad. Of course, once they go back to Jamaica, it's going to be near impossible to probably get them back. Although most of them come back on their own accord, because then they'll come in on a drug boat or something else. We've seen that happen previously as well. But read the article, because it's very, very interesting, the allegations that are made in relation to this particular criminal, Termite, saying that he was actually wanted in Jamaica by the gangsters, right? For being involved in that activity. Things were getting very, very hot. And so he was known as a top shooter, apparently, in his home country. And as things started to get hot, and he was probably going to be next on the elimination list as these things go with gangs, he decided to come to Cayman. There's so many questions that I have about this situation. Apparently, his brother, according to the Jamaican blogger, his brother and father were both here living in the Cayman Islands. Now, here's the crazy part. The father took out the work permit for him. And you heard where he says they crossed their T's, dotted their I's, and crossed their T's or whatever? My thing with this is he went on to claim, and I'm working under the assumption that this blogger knows what he's talking about, right? But he goes on to claim that they then left Cayman because of some criminality and some criminal activity. So if somebody holds your permit that's a family member, and I wonder, because a lot of times you don't know that people who are coming in and work permits are actually related or family to that person. So I wonder if they knew, because they might have different names. You know how these things go, right? So I wonder if immigration knew that this was his dad that was taking out his work permit. Or if it wasn't even the dad that took out the permit, the dad had somebody else do it, because this is what is happening, right? So those of you who are out there involved in taking out fraudulent work permits for people, like friend of a friend and whatever, you don't even know yourself who you're allowing to come into this country. And so the question becomes, what checks and balances could have been carried out? Somebody said the fingerprinting system, but I'm going to be honest with you. The fingerprinting system is only effective if he actually is in a database somewhere else. So that means that he would have had to have been arrested in another jurisdiction, and that jurisdiction has to have a reliable fingerprinting system. Does Jamaica have a fingerprinting system? Does Honduras have a fingerprinting system? I don't know that they do, right? And so I get the logic behind, okay, we need to have a fingerprinting system, but the fingerprinting system is like an after the fact situation, right? So that only is if they're already a criminal. And most of these people, they're criminals, but they're either avoiding prosecution, right? Or where they're coming from has no fingerprinting system in place anyway. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Sandy.
Good morning, dear. How you doing?
You are right. Okay, Jamaica do has a fingerprinting system.
Okay.
But what happened is that these guys go on the radar as being wanted.
Mm-hmm.
They have never been arrested, so their fingerprints are not in the system.
Right.
So when they do apply for a police record, they will get a clearance because in Jamaica, you know, a lot of people, you'd have a guy who named Tommy, and everybody call him Tom. So in that way, the name does not ring a bell when it goes to the record office. So he will be able to get a police clearance.
Yeah. So their official names are not necessarily, because sometimes the police themselves, I mean, I watched the JDF pages and whatever, right? And sometimes the police themselves don't even know the proper name for these gangsters. They're just like, oh, we're looking for Termite. And it's like, who the heck is Termite, right? Yeah. So it's challenging.
It's only pictures. You can do it with, it's just their pictures that you can do it with, because sometimes the police do capture pictures. But that is the reason why a lot of them are allowed to go different places, because they are not in the system. So
Right.
their fingerprint will come up as them being clean.
Yeah. And the other thing is, let's also be honest, there are people who can, even when they don't have a clean police record, they know somebody. You know what I'm saying? Pay them a couple dollars on the table and things happen.
It's not that easy anymore.
Oh, that's good to hear.
Because just like driver's license in Jamaica, there was a time when people could have got fraudulent license. But the inspector, the person who actually give you the clearance to get that license, his name is on your license. So whenever that license goes in the system, it's gonna show that Tom Brown was the one who signed off on this license.
I see. So they're creating more of an audit trail these days.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. All right, folks. Over 400 and about 45 people online. We're going to pause the discussion for a little bit because we want to invite our guests who are patiently waiting. And I know they're super busy. And so thank you guys so much. Fresh Joe and others have confirmed that yes, Jamaica does have a fingerprinting system, but as far as database, I'm uncertain. So I'm going to try to look into that if I can a little bit more. Someone also said that Honduras has a fingerprinting system as well. But of course, we would have to have some sort of memorandum of understanding with these individuals to be able to, with the countries, I mean, to be able to get access to their database to kind of tie things together. Fresh Joe makes a very interesting point. So the picture doesn't work because some bleach their skin and grow their hair, amongst other things. And I do wonder, just out of curiosity on that front, how much AI tools might be able to assist, because yeah, you might be bleaching your hair, bleaching your skin and your hair for that matter. But if you are utilizing AI tools, I think that what you will find is that it's still going to pick up, unless the person has had cosmetic surgery, it is still going to pick up on some of the critical features of the face, right? And so AI is becoming even more and more capable when it comes to identifying people, even when they make changes with, with their sort of cosmetic changes like hair color, bleaching of the skin and that sort of thing. But all very, very, interesting points for sure. And we're going to continue to dig into this. And I know that the government is now trying to ascertain how much of the story they can verify. But, a lot of these guys, and this is why there are a number of you who I know for sure watch these Jamaican bloggers, because you're always sending me their content. But above and beyond that, I know that you guys pay attention to what they say, because they know a lot of what's happening on the street. And so then they come forward and they're able to say, hey, Auntie Sandy, this is what we heard on this blogger, and they know what they're talking about. That's why you notice a lot of the bloggers in Jamaica do not share their identity. They themselves have a street name or whatever, and they don't share their faces because they get a lot of low-key information, and they then are jeopardizing their own lives if people know who they are. So I see a lot of them. You have no clue really who those individuals are, but good job for highlighting this situation. And I can assure you, like I said, I have reached out to the relevant authorities, and they're now in the process of trying to verify what they can. He's left the jurisdiction for now, but I think that in order to close some of these gaps, we need to understand how all of this happened. And my number one question is, if the father took out the permit, which, like I said, he didn't necessarily have to, it could have been a friend of a friend kind of mix-up situation. Once you have people connected to you that leave a jurisdiction under, some sort of criminal accusations or whatever, I think that it is only fair that the family members connected to them also are looked at under a magnifying glass. Certainly, I'm not saying that because your family members are criminals, that means that you're going to be a criminal. All I'm saying is the powers that be need to, at the very least, pay very, very close attention to who people are connected to once they come into the Cayman Islands, because I do believe that it makes a difference. All right, let's pause the conversation there. Floss Boss says, yes, we should have facial recognition. And I think that that's what I'm talking about when I say AI. It could really go a long way. Absolutely. Thank you, Floss Boss. Miss Sue, good morning. Good morning, Alba. All right, listen. We've got Brett Mobley in the house from Polar Bear. He's going to talk to us about a really important topic today. So I want you guys to continue to listen to this. Good morning, Sir Brett. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing well. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. This is your first time on the show, so we're going to extend a warm CMR welcome to you. So good to have you here with us. You and I speak on a regular basis, not because we're best friends, but because you're always bailing me out. It's pretty sad, but I was saying to Brett just last night, as a matter of fact, that I feel like I am cursed with air conditioning problems. I've got a lot of friends that say to me, oh man, Sandy, I'm tech challenged. I touch a phone, it breaks or it never works. And I'm kind of feeling like I'm that way with AC. There's always something wrong, but Polar Bear pulls through every single time, no matter the time of night or day. We just had an issue yesterday. A leak was discovered in our air handler section, and Polar Bear was here until late last night getting it sorted out. So poor little Gigi could sleep in her room with a little bit of air conditioning, because it is hot. Oh my gosh, 80 degrees feels like 100 when you're indoors. But thank you so much, Brett, for the amazing job that you do leading the team over there at Polar Bear, and Simon and Kieran and the entire team. I mean, they're all really, really wonderful. And, they come, they focus on what they have to do. They work and, in and out, and really get the problem resolved. So I am most appreciative for your services. And I know you're here to talk about a really important topic today, but I just wanted to welcome you, generally speaking.
Yeah, thank you so much.
So there are things that are happening, moving and shaking in the world of air conditioning. And so there's a big change apparently that is coming down the pipeline. So you're here to tell us a little bit about this change. What is this? Sounds interesting.
Right. So what is happening right now is we're going through some changes with regulation with refrigerants. So most countries are phasing down 410A refrigerant. That's the refrigerant that all of our AC systems rely on right now. So they're phasing it down, not phasing it out completely. So it will still be around. However, the equipment that is compatible with this 410A refrigerant is in very, very low supply because it's not allowed to be manufactured anymore. And as of January 2026, it'll be illegal in the United States and Canada. And that's where we get all of our equipment from. So it's going to have some big impacts.
All right. So tell us what does this mean? I hear you say, right, they're not manufacturing it anymore. Does that mean that all of our systems can only use that particular refrigerant, or how does this work?
Right. So they're going through some changes. They're basically the changes for environmental reasons. So 410A was phased in because it did not deplete the ozone layer, but it is a greenhouse gas, so it contributes to global warming still. So they're going to be they've already introduced what they call A2L refrigerants, and that reduces the greenhouse gas potential by about 80% over 410A. So what that means is all of the equipment is changing, and the equipment that is compatible with 410A is not compatible with the new A2L refrigerants. So it puts a lot of people, not everyone, but it puts some people in a sticky situation. Like if a major issue pops up, like what happened with you yesterday, you'd want to take a pause and say, hey, should I repair or should I replace? So it's a good time for homeowners to pay attention, to be informed, informed decisions before you don't have the option.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
so
especially true if you just like if you have an old condenser, an outdoor unit, and you have a brand new air handler. That wasn't the situation for you. But if you have a very old condenser and a brand new air handler, you want to really pay attention.
Oh man, well, I not too long ago did the condensers. So now I'm a little bit worried. So how long realistically do you think we have until this becomes like critical where you're not going to be able to find the refrigerant anymore?
The refrigerant isn't really the problem. The refrigerant will be available. It will just become more expensive, maybe a little less in supply. But the bigger concern is the equipment to keep the existing systems running.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So are you thinking 5 years before everyone is going to have to swap over, or what are we thinking about in terms of like time frame? What do you think is realistic?
It varies for everyone. Of course, if you have a very old system, you're gonna have to change at some point. Of course, if your system goes down and it's gonna be expensive to repair, then you're probably in the best bet to upgrade your entire system. But if you just spent a lot of money, for example, maybe changing your air handler, then it's a great time to maybe be proactive and change your condenser. And if your condenser is old and your air handler is new, then it's a great time to consider upgrading your condenser to a compatible 410A condenser before there are none left. You'll save a lot of money instead of being forced to change the whole system, including the brand new air handler you just spent thousands of dollars on, to have a compatible, modern system. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think so. It is a little bit.
Yeah.
So
basically, the equipment that they're making now doesn't work with the old refrigerant.
Right.
So everyone is in a little bit of a different. Every home is different. Every family is different. The condition of the equipment, should all be taken into consideration. So we're offering a free readiness check so that if anyone has questions or just wants to know what they have and kind of know how to plan going forward, our consultants can come out and do a free consultation, let you know how the system is looking, what kind of refrigerant your system uses, and just have a transparent conversation with you about, what's a good way going forward.
Yeah. Okay. And have there been systems out there already for the newer refrigerant that are already being installed in use?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's mainly what's going in right now.
Yes.
The
Okay.
410A equipment is really in low supply. So it's kind of like a last call. Excuse me. If you wanted to consider grabbing one of those older systems, it's kind of like a last call right now, because they actually stopped making it from last year. So what we have now is just, the stock that was from last year, unless there's some new manufacturers and someone is going to ship them from China. I don't know. But most factories in the world are transitioning to the new refrigerants. So it just means the availability of the old equipment is in big question.
Right. Okay. All right. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed. I'm sure you'll let me know if I have the new one or what I've got. But okay, that's really, really good to know. Anthony has a question. Miss Beulah, thank you so much. Oh, we got a caller as well. Good morning, caller. Welcome to the program.
Good morning again, Sandy.
Morning, dear.
A question for a gentleman.
Yes.
Is this true or is it a myth? I heard that the new refrigerant that is going to be used, it's very flammable. And in terms of, there are sometimes when the dryer goes on your condenser, and usually they would braze that back in. I just want to know if that is true, that you won't be able to use any form of torch or anything on this system if you have a leak. Just want to know if that's so or not.
Okay, so appreciate that question. That's a very important question. It's true and not true. It is mildly flammable. So it's not very flammable or highly flammable. It is flammable, but it's very mildly flammable. So there are new safety features built into the systems to detect leaks, especially on the indoor unit where it's more of a safety concern. And there are new installation practices. There's new tools that are required when you're installing and working with these new systems. So there's a big safety aspect that you want to make sure you have someone reputable, qualified, fully trained, working and installing, these systems going forward. And that's a big thing for us in Cayman, because we don't require licenses for air conditioning installers and technicians. You need a professional license to work on people's plumbing, to work on their electrical, but really anyone could start an AC business and come into your home as if they knew what they were doing, and they may not. And in those cases, that's where you're going to see people. That's when you see, very low ball prices. If you're doing comparison pricing and you see someone that's way too low, you just want to take a pause and make sure you're working with someone who's going to do right by you and a quality installation, following the safety procedures.
Very good to know. That was a great question. Thank you so much to that caller. We got some A students here today. Anthony says, can you ask him what he refers to as an old system in AC years? So I think this might have just been answered because he said from last year they started to phase out and introduce the newer ones that would work. So yeah. So anything manufactured before last year, I'm assuming?
Yeah, I mean, so those are the old 410A equipment. It doesn't mean you need to go out and replace it, but just because it's 410A. It can still last and run for a long time. The refrigerant will be available. Like I said, it'll just be more expensive. The repair parts will be available, again, just a little bit more expensive. But you don't need to rush out and change your old system and upgrade to the A2L refrigerant equipment. Everyone is in a little bit of a different spot, so you just do your research, make sure that you're informed on what's happening, and then you can reach out to Polar Bear and see what options are available for you in your specific situation.
Mm-hmm. Got another caller on the line. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Sunday.
Hi
Good morning
there.
to your guests. I know that your guests are not automobile air condition servicemen.
Yes.
The service, but does she have any idea? Which I know if it's when they change over from 312 to 410 and so forth,
Mhm.
to 134A, whatever it was. Can't remember now. This about 30 years ago. If the automobile is going to be using the same freon, the same refrigerant, not freon, refrigerant. And see, the problem with automobiles is that Chrysler will use the refrigerant, but they use a different oil. Ford uses one. We had about when DuPont made the last. Did I say this?
Mm-hmm. Sorry.
I have a
DuPont.
word that I always use for them.
Oh.
To deceive the world, saying that the ozone layer, the hole in the ozone layer was opening up and all of that. And one year they went along and they found it was closing up. But that's when they found out that DuPont had fooled the whole world. No. I want to know who's ahead of this thing. Who's really making this with the main manufacturer? Because DuPont was one of the main manufacturers in my day. I became one of the first auto air conditioning technicians, Cayman air conditioning. It was. And I tell you, they gave us the time. They changed the hoses. They changed everything. You had to put in barrier hoses. It was a ton of expense. And a lot of people, like he said, like the guy was asking about the torches and so forth like that. When you go to work on a system, how you really going to know what the system is? You know, it's real fun. But the automobile is a part. I mean, I know more about automobile than I know about that. Pretty much Mercedes-Benz might use that refrigerant. Yes, it seems that they all use the same refrigerant, the oils and all of that. It was a massive something when that happened.
Oh wow!
I call it the deceitful DuPont. DuPont did it to make a whole heap of money because when they found out that one atom of fluorocarbon takes 50 years to reach the ozone layer, all that came out afterwards, and everybody realized that been DuPont. You know the name DuPont. You've been duped.
Yeah. Oh gosh, I never knew that. Well, thank you so much for that little history.
Watch the story on the friend when you go to get the car service and we hear another story. But I mean, I don't know how well versed the chef is on. I know the company and the people that want it. They deal with particularly with house, but it goes right across the board. You wear a refrigerator.
Thank you, Carl. I appreciate it. So do we know, I mean, this is a little bit, I know, outside of your scope, as he's admitted, but does this impact automobiles as well?
No.
Okay. All right. Totally different situation.
Yeah.
All right. Rennie wants to know, does this apply to split units also?
Yes.
Okay. Miss Lucille, thank you so much. I'm not sure that that's about this topic, but all right, 936-2626. If anybody else has a question for Brett about this. So you mentioned, Brett again is joining us from Polar Bear, Brett Mobley. He's mentioned that you're doing a free assessment for people where you'll come out and see, what their systems are and, how does that work? How do they contact you? Where do they get more information about booking that appointment?
Yeah, you can call us on our office line 945-2526, or you can visit our website and fill out a contact form at polarbear.ky. And basically what we'll do, it's very, very simple. We'll just come out, look at the equipment that you have, confirm what refrigerant it takes. There are a few very old systems that still have R22. That's the old one. And we'll confirm what you have, what the age is, especially if you have like an upgraded indoor unit and a very old outdoor unit. We'll look at what kind of condition it's in, give an idea of how long the lifespan of the equipment is, and just have a conversation about what the options are, what would be a smart plan going forward, considering the changes in availability of the 410A equipment.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have any other questions about the AC, the people that will come out, they're technicians. They have years of experience. They know what they know what they're doing. They can take a look at anything that you like.
Mm-hmm. Fantastic. And I must say, I guess this is why you make sure that your staff, your technical staff, are always trained up on what's happening within the industry. And we appreciate you coming on this morning and explaining this to us, because I bet that the average homeowner wouldn't, or business owner just wouldn't know this. So this is something, again, that is really, really important to know and to understand. So basically, the refrigerant that is being used in most systems is being phased down, and that can have some impact on the repairs, replacement, and cost over the next couple years. So once again, if you're in the market where you're looking for new units, perhaps you want to take that into consideration to make sure that you're getting the most energy efficient units, but also, financially efficient from the perspective that, yes, the refrigerant might not disappear overnight, but it's going to get more and more expensive. And of course, everyone's looking to save as much as they can on units that can, what's the average life of these units now? But probably 10, 15 years?
It really depends.
Right.
If you're on the coast, like
Mhm.
on any coast, you could look at 6 to 8 years.
Mm.
If you're and if you're off the coast and you're doing maintenance regularly, probably 12 years would be a good expectation. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Because once you hit around 8 years or so, you
Yes.
really start to lose the efficiency considerably. So even if it's still running, you're paying for it in your energy bill. So that's when we already start to have those conversations with homeowners to at least have a plan and start to put away for the upgrade, because it's gonna be a smart investment to do before you're years behind, kind of overspending on your utility bill.
Yeah. And I think that's a good point, because even when we have CUC on here, they keep saying older appliances, there's no way that an older appliance is going to be as efficient as a newer appliance. And so you're paying for that older appliance so much so that maybe it makes sense to consider an upgrade. Yeah. Well, Brett, it was really wonderful having you on the show. I can tell that our students were paying attention, because our show numbers maintain themselves. That means that they were interested in this topic. Thank you so much for bringing us up to speed. And don't be a stranger. Come on the program, because I feel like we can have so many conversations around, the things that homeowners can be doing themselves and educating themselves about, maintaining their appliances, AC units. Because a lot of you might not know that Polar Bear has a sister company, which is Appliance Doctor, and they actually do service appliances and stuff as well. So thank you very, very much. Evelyn says that she has just had a bunch of AC work done, changed out all of her ducting, put in cool, CUC, new air handlers. What is that, fig or fix a hole in my savings? I don't know what that word is supposed to be, Evelyn. But yeah, I think that sometimes you've got to spend money to save money. There's a saying that you have to spend money to make money, but sometimes you have to spend money to save money as well. So Evelyn, I'm sure that you'll be thanking yourself in a couple months when that CUC bill continues to roll in and you're more energy efficient. Brett Mobley, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you too. Talk to you next time.
Have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye. All right, folks. Thanks so much for Brett there for joining us again. Trigger, what's his name? Trigger is missing. So please, if you, see him, did they tell me where he went missing? Let me see. Hold on now. Trigger went missing. In the Birch Tree Hill area of West Bay. So Trigger's missing in the Birch Tree Hill area of West Bay. So please, if you see him wandering around, just shoot us a message on WhatsApp, and we will be able to return him to his rightful owner. And the first thing they need to do is give him a nice little bath as a treat. And let me encourage you to please get your animals spayed and neutered, because a lot of times they are running around and running away, not because you're mistreating them in any way, but because they're looking for a little girlfriend or boyfriend. Jerry says, I saw Trigger last Saturday in Birch Tree Hill. Is he an outdoor? He kind of looks like he's an outdoor dog, I'll be honest. So Jerry, he's probably used to running all over the place. These little dogs are not really meant to be roaming the streets, folks. Give them the good life indoors, please, and thank you. But yes, you have to fix them, because the need to, procreate is strong once you don't have them fixed. So, and then we have a whole unwanted population. Thank you so much, Polar Bear, again, for the breakdown on that topic here today. Amazing. You meant to say dig a hole in your savings. I got you, girl. All right, let's get back to our discussion here. So West Kingston 3135 says lots of these other islands lie about being Jamaican. What other islands? Who's lying about being a Jamaican? Not for nothing, West Kingston. But not too many people got claimed to be Jamaican if they're not a Jamaican. Not like your passport gives you more options if you say, oh, I have a Jamaican passport. So why would they be lying about being a Jamaican? If you can get on Cayman Airways and go straight to Jamaica that easily with a Jamaican passport, you're a Jamaican. Not for nothing. And we had no doubt that these guys were Jamaicans from when we got the photos on Saturday. There's lots of telltale signs. Jamaicans have a unique way of doing things sometimes that really puts them in the identifiable spot, right? So let's look at them. And I think, everything from, the tattoos, the bleaching, the skin bleaching is predominantly done by Jamaicans. We don't see too many other Caribbean islands, but I wonder who else would be pretending to be a Jamaican is my question. West Kingston, help me out here. Because I've actually never heard of that being a problem. Kind of hard, really. But these guys have a lot of telltale signs. Of course, the store owners heard the very thick Jamaican accents. We do have videos of them that we played on Monday's show where they were speaking, and not to say that everybody with a Jamaican accent is necessarily Jamaican, because I know some Caymanians can fake a Jamaican accent extremely well. You'd not be able to tell the difference. But these guys were Jamaicans. Nobody not pretending to be a Jamaican in this situation. I don't know who else, but not happening here, honey chill. Sue says they need to make them get a visa to come here like they have to get a visa to go to the States. Well, that's already in place, Miss Sue. I don't know where you've been living, honey child. But yes, you do need a visa if you come from Jamaica. But again, none of these systems are foolproof, because you get a visa approved by the Cayman authorities, and it appears that that is actually quite easy to do as long as you don't have a criminal record. You will get it approved. Now, to be clear, what this guy was saying, let me play the video again, because if you listen to what he says, is this guy actually came in on a work permit, which means that they would have needed to have a police clearance certificate in order to get that work permit approved. So have a listen again, those of you who might be joining the show a little bit late.
Now the criminal element in the white marina, we are going to zero in by him because it are go leave from out of Cayman now and drop locally in the parish of St. Elizabeth. So after that scamming in Cayman took place, the criminal element in question in the white marina, identified only by his alias as Termite, fled to St. Elizabeth in Jamaica. He is originally from the Heatsfield district in the Monroe area in St. Elizabeth. Now this criminal element is said to be a member of the Boy gang, which is in St. Elizabeth. And the leader for that particular gang is presently on your screen, identified as Sean Eneva. Now, Sean Eneva is presently behind bars, charged with firearm-related offenses, to wit, robbery with aggravation, and knockings and clappings with intent. So as I stated earlier, Termite is a part of the Boy gang. Now, who remember this criminal element here presently on your screen? An upcoming dancehall artist who was definitely not among the smartest and get him head splash out like a tomatis in a Mandeville. So that is when he contacted his father and his older brother, who were both living in the Cayman Islands at the time. The father do him for do, pull some strings, cross the T's, dot the I's, and that is how he got into the Cayman Islands. Now, shortly after his arrival in the Cayman Islands, because of criminality, criminal involvement in criminal activities, the father and the older brother got deported back to Jamaica.
Okay. So the allegation again is that they were actually deported back to Jamaica, which means that they committed crimes here that saw them deported. So I'm curious about that. And of course, I'm hoping that our authorities can then verify who these individuals are and what they were deported for. But well, I don't know how you're going to figure out who's family, because like I said, a lot of times they don't purposely tell you who they're connected to in Cayman. Might have to start asking people for DNA samples next to try to figure all of this out, right? But if they knew that that was his father and his brother that got deported, I certainly would have hoped that they would have been taking a very, very close eye at this guy. Listen, in the past, Caymanians, again, after Hurricane Ivan or any devastation, and this is a pertinent conversation now, because with Hurricane Melissa, lots of gangsters in the Westmoreland area are going to be looking for somewhere else to go. Okay? They come to Cayman under the guise of a work permit. A lot of them don't really have jobs here, or they might do a little something to keep themselves busy, but they are criminals. Anybody who's a criminal, even if they come here and do something legit, it's not going to be long before they fall into their criminality again. And so this is where we've got to pay attention. Remember back after Hurricane Ivan, the M13 gangsters from Honduras were coming in, and they were walking around and people were pointing out, oh my God, look at the tattoos. We see these guys walking the streets of Cayman with these tattoos. And so our government started to wise up and pay attention to some of the tattoos, because a lot of them, when you enter a gang, you've got to get a tattoo in order to, be an official member or whatever, right? It's one of the markings. It's how gangs have a camaraderie with each other and identify each other. So we need to keep abreast of these things. We need to be in communication with the intelligence units in Jamaica to know what tattoos these gangs are using and identifying marks. The other thing is, On the work permit application, does it ask the question? And I'm asking this because I can't remember, and I don't really think that it does, but does it ask the question as it relates to tattoos or any markings on a person's body? Because it is not with outside the scope. Let me just ask the question here. I think really and truly, it is not outside the scope of possibility that we should be asking this question. Do you have any identifying marks or tattoos? And perhaps even now what we need to do is when people come into this country, part of our, we can get a national ID supposedly, but part of the process should be that all of these guys have a proper photo taken. And we also take photos of things like tattoos. Now, I know they're smart. So if we implement that, they're going to start having tattoos removed before they come here. That's another red flag. If you see that someone has had a tattoo removed from their body, maybe you ask questions about, why did you have this tattoo removed? What was it? And maybe that's one consideration as to why you're not going to just allow any and everybody in. Good morning, caller.
Morning. I can answer that question for you. They do not ask that question.
They do not.
Or nothing similar. No.
Okay, that's interesting.
I've filled out many work permit forms, and they don't ask.
Wow. Maybe it's time that they do. Of course, like I said, the criminals are always trying to be one step ahead of the authorities, but it's a starting point to say, do you have any tattoos?
If you've been arrested before, they will take pictures of tattoos and stuff like that if you get arrested.
Once you get arrested. But I'm thinking we need to do this at the intake part now when you bring someone in, because how many times, not for nothing, but right now the police is looking for someone. I think we put it up last night or something. They're out there looking for an individual. It shocks me every single time the police is looking for someone, the poor quality of photos that they have. So this guy, he's wanted.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, don't you guys have any decent pictures of these criminals? So again, going to the point that I'm making is when people come in a work permit, is it too much to ask if we say, you know what, we're going to have to photograph you, take a decent photo, high quality HD photo, 4K photo, something, and also any identifying tattoos? Because then otherwise,
I guess so.
Otherwise, look at this picture on the screen here, folks. This was the best, and I don't know who this guy is, but this is the best photo that they've had. This photo's all pixelated. Yeah, this is not a high quality photo, so I don't know where they got this from. But maybe it's time that the police started doing that. Not even the police, but immigration at the intake process. Are we not taking decent photos of people?
All right, I'm gonna hang up and listen
all right,
now. Thank you,
honey chill. So, I got all kind of questions. Okay. They don't take, but you have to take in a photo when you get your permit? I'm trying to remember. You submit photos, right? Yeah. So I have a question about that. So let me ask that question as well. Because I think it's maybe time that we start doing some of these things. I mean, anyway, in case you know where this guy is, his name, he looks like a Caymanian, sort of. His name is Derek Osney Bush, 36-year-old West Bay resident, wanted for failing to appear in court on serious assault charges and other offenses. Bush, who also goes by Bushy, is described as approximately 5'8", light brown complexion, short dark hair, and brown eyes. Police are asking anyone who spots Bush not to approach him, but instead to note his location and immediately call 911. Sounds like he might be a little bit dangerous if they're telling you not to approach him. So there's Bushy. Anybody know Bushy? Where is he from? I mean, not for nothing. Bush can be a Caymanian last name, but I kind of feel like this dude's a Jamaican too. Do we know who he is? Anybody knows who Bush is? Jamaican, Caymanian? Mix up. Sandra says Dominique Pearson, too much disconnect and bad strategy within the departments. We must stop feeding the lions, and we know who we know eventually will devour us. Make this make sense. We must be wiser than the serpent. What a hot mess. I'm just saying. We do have another comment that has come in. This one person said the following. 1 second here. Let me just pull this up. Yeah, it's pretty crazy, actually. It's pretty wild. Give me 1 second here. Okay. This person says, good morning. Please keep me anonymous. The police really need to start placing airport stop orders for any outstanding matters, no matter how small, because too many people are getting away with wrongdoing in this country. I once had a vehicular accident where the other party refused to pay or fix the damage, and I asked the police to put a stop order at the airport until the matter was resolved. And I was told that traffic matters don't warrant a block. This is exactly why so many issues go unresolved. People can simply leave the island without being held accountable, and it's not fair to the victims who are left with the burden. Stronger enforcement is needed to ensure that individuals can't walk away from their responsibilities. Reminds me of this guy, Arthur, as well, who absconded a number of years ago, and he was accused of stealing, I think it was, over $20,000, $30,000 from a local restaurant where he was the manager, and they had him charged. And of course, as they oftentimes do when you're from certain North American countries, they will give you, a passport. What was his name again? Arthur Screecher or something like that. But anyway, they gave him his passport back, and you better believe that Arthur took off never to be seen again. Yep. So it most certainly happens. What a heat. Johan is here, misbehaving. Let me see what Johan. Morning, Miss Alba. Call a spade, says Fresh Joe. Money spend and clean record run. Lord have mercy. Debbie says Michael just started to deal with immigration. Give him a chance. I'm not so sure this has anything to do with Michael. This is the actual immigration department and how the department is, thinking about things and how they're running things. And now this is a question of CBC, which is border control, as well as certain immigration. The law might be there, Ms. Debbie, but that doesn't mean that there's not ways to skirt around the law. Michael, with his team, will deal with the law, but they all need to be cognizant of how criminals are working around it. Oh, Dominique says, not shocking, just very disappointing, disheartening and disappointing, Minister Miles. Hopefully Minister Miles, again, is speaking to the technocrats, which are the civil servants, to see how we can get around this. Johan says, is this a Jamaica show or what? What happening in Cayman? The show called Cayman Mile Road, CHT. Can somebody slap Johan in the back of the classroom, please? This is a Cayman show, but if you don't believe that what happens in Jamaica impacts us, especially when it comes to criminality, that means, as usual, you're disconnected from the people and you're sleeping in the back of the classroom. Has everything to do with Cayman and Caymanians. Good morning, caller.
Morning, Sandra. Morning from the block.
Hello,
Thelma,
honey
say hi.
child. Hi, Thelma.
We got you casted on the TV, so she sits and watches you. Anyways, as somebody who's dealt with that immigration department from 1991 and work permits and everything, I can afford to tell you, they do not check the police records. They never do. The first police record you put in with your work permit application must be from your home country when you're putting in your first one to come here, whether it's a year, 6 month, or a 3 month. That has to come from your home country. We do not check that. First of all, we don't have, as I've talked to people no longer working there, retired from it, have told me they never had any system, and Some of them even wanted those systems where you could hook into Interpol to check people's record to see if people had any sort of history outside of the Cayman Islands. The worst part about it all, Sandra, after being in this country for 6 months and you be a good person, even if you came in with a fake police record, got that permit approved and nobody checked, after 6 months of residency in this country, you can go down to our records department and they'll give you a clean one as well to put in for your 1-year permit. So that's how it goes. You don't need to get another one, a renewed one from your home country. You can get one from the Cayman Islands after 6 months of being a resident here. That should not happen. No. I'm sorry, because you came with a fake one. I found fake police records over the years, and all it took for me to find that out is a phone call. You know how much money I spent calling the Philippines, calling Jamaica to confirm people's police records? Why couldn't our government do that? They're just lazy. They don't care. They just, once you get through that 3 months, you're smooth sailing through the country. That's all I can tell you. People walk through the doors, walk onto our shores with fake documentation. I found a lot of that over the years. And if I can find it out as an agency, please tell me, or why our government, who has a plethora of money and resources available to them, why they can't do it. And that's the saddest part. We have people still in this country that we haven't accounted for. 1,500 of them, Sandra, went missing after Hurricane Ivan. We can't find them. We don't know where they are. They're probably still in this country right now. I can afford to tell you, as an agency, moving to the BRAC, bringing people in, they need to come to the BRAC to take up a job. They go rogue when they arrive in Grand Cayman. I can't find them. I am given to run around from CBC to work to police, a whole circle of running around. I can't locate these people until a new work permit application is put in for them. Some of them probably here and never got another permit. Does anybody go looking for those people? If they approved a 3-month permit for someone and no more permits has been submitted for them, don't they check to see if they exited the country? This is the systems we have that does not have sufficient enforcements to it. It's just a sweep it under the rug kind of situation, and it's sad. And you're absolutely right. Michael have no control over this. The person this is in the hands of is none other than the chief officer in the ministry, Wesley Howell. He is responsible for this. And I'm telling him he's a very lazy chief officer because he is not protecting the enforcement side of this country when it comes to individuals coming in here with fake documentation before that permit is approved. And the other thing I can say this, you can get a temporary express in 48 hours. In 48 hours, you can get a temporary permit approved. Do they take the initiative to check those police records for that temporary within that 48 hours? Absolutely not. Everyone I know that work and no longer there told me we don't have the time to do that. We're basically told, and I'm going to try to paraphrase what an ex-work employee told me. We've been told that we need money and we just need to keep approving them to bring money into the coffers. There you go. That's the problem. It's the money. So we can't blame Michael for any of this. He's trying to clean it up. We got to be grateful to him for actually having the mindset, the initiative, and doing it. And I want to thank the NCFC because what they have done in 5 months, the PPM and UDP couldn't do in 4 years and still never did. Because when you look at their manifestos, when the 4 years was up, more than 3/4 of it, they never did. So thank you, NCFC. I just want the country to know this. All right.
Yep. Thank you so much. So a very, very, thank you so much, caller, for that. A very interesting set of comments there. And I want you all to be cognizant and aware of the fact that, listen, we have enforcement within these agencies. And so then the question becomes, as someone says, and I think unfortunately they have their hands their work cut out for them, and sometimes their hands are tied in ways that it really, really shouldn't be. Money should never be the priority over, ensuring that we're getting the right caliber of individuals in this country. It's a privilege to be able to come to the Cayman Islands and work or even visit. And so, yes, I would have thought with again, modern technology being what it is, that it should be a lot easier, certainly, to do background checks on people than it ever was before. Like, you give me a person's name and date of birth, and trust me, I can quickly start to do my searches. But I suspect a couple things are happening here. Number one, the departments that are responsible for these compliance matters and these checks and balances are too inundated with applications. Over 40,000 work permits in this country, more coming on board with all these hotels and whatever, that we don't even know. As she rightfully said, you can get a work permit turned around in 48 hours. Is that enough time to do any sufficient checks? Well, if you're an administrator over at immigration, you got a stack of work permits yay high that you're trying to process, right? That's probably more of a rubber stamping exercise than anything else. And I doubt that there is a whole lot of checks being done. I'm just saying. This person says, talk about the Jamaican criminal element. Remember that Jamaican that was killed in Windsor Park after he was deported and returned illegally. Bush was the guy that assaulted the guys by the Strand a few years ago. Yes, he's Caymanian. He's Pablo from West Bay. Well, there you go. Pablo. Ay. Ingrid, they do have a compliance section of all of these things. And I can tell you this will be maybe some, this will be some news to you guys, maybe a little bit of breaking news. But apparently, we do have, let me just see here now. We do have a person who is going to be working in the DG's office, who is going to have the responsibility. So it's a chief vetting officer who is now going to be stationed in the deputy governor's office, and his job is going to be to improve on background checks. So we're going to get a bit more information about this chief vetting officer, but this is a new position, and I was just reliably informed of that last night. So there are some things afoot that hopefully will improve the system. But unfortunately, I think that the bottom line that we really have to be cognizant of is every single time you take out a work permit, you being you, and you, whoever you are, right? Every single time you take out a work permit for someone and you're not doing the relevant checks as the work permit holder, you are likewise should be held responsible. Because I think a lot of people are either turning a blind eye or they simply don't even care to know, or sometimes they they do know and they just don't care about the criminals that are being imported into this country, all for the almighty dollar. Now, let me be clear. I'm going to say this as clear as possible. Some of those people are bona fide Caymanians. It's the same ones who want to enter into these fraudulent marriages of convenient. They don't care who they're marrying, right? They'll pick up any kind of trash from a yonder just for the sake of them giving them a couple dollars every month. And they're bringing in all sorts of undesirable individuals. This person says, good morning. Carrie is 100% correct. I was able to confirm that our IT guy from a reputable IT company for a former employer had several outstanding U.S. warrants and DUI charges. He was fired and asked to leave. Money should never be a priority over national security. Imagine that. You know, and the sad thing is, once they get the first work permit to come into the Cayman Islands, then it's like all, all hell's going to break loose, because then they continually get subsequent work permits approved. So thank God that this person was doing a little bit of due diligence and checks on the individual, because then you make the assumption that they have a clean police record. What a mess. Yes, sir. Oh my God. Boy, you know when they say time longer than rope? Sometimes we report on people and they come back trying to claim that they're uppity millionaires, citizens from wherever. And then you get a little nugget this morning. They're in trouble again. I'm like, ain't nobody surprised by that. Certainly not me. Oh, they always think they're above the law. Lord Jesus, take the wheel. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. What a heat. Yes, sir. That one get hit the press. Can't tell y'all no more for now. We're going to do some checks and see if they actually get arrested properly this time. And not just get out because of money. Yes. All right. Good morning. Sorry I didn't get to you last night. What were you getting to me about? Okay. All right. Give me 1 second, folks. Just catching up on a few messages here. I know a lot of you like to WhatsApp me. Sorry, my apologies. Someone says good morning, and Jamaica keeps their visa requirements on us. Make it make sense. Who's in charge of that now, by the way? Who would that fall under? I don't know. Would that be the Premier's office? Make it make sense. Clearly, we can't trust the Jamaican authorities to do proper vetting with their visa applications for Cayman. Jamaican being overrun by our criminals. So Jamaican influencer reporting on a person supposedly pretending to be Jamaican. Make it make sense. They love to defend dumbass. Oh, Lord. I am pretty sure that nobody's pretending to be no Jamaican. So y'all can just park that idea. Good morning, says this person. The issue with transient criminals here is that they have family members within WRC, RCIPS, CBC, and multiple other agencies in Cayman. There was an arrest of an immigration officer for harboring a wanted fugitive at her house years ago. That disappeared under the radar. Really? Just recently, a police officer took a transport boat back to his home country after getting in legal troubles. Yep. There's also wrong in both cases, but just the bottom of the barrel. There's something wrong, sorry, in both cases, but that's just the bottom of the barrel. There are some, there are more checks amusement venues around the world than here in Cayman. Yes, I mean, this is the part now that I'm telling you. Caymanians, and sometimes, yes, I get it. It's Caymanians that have had the privilege of getting status. So y'all feel a little bit different about that situation, but they're still Caymanians now. They are allowing every Tom, Dick, and Harry to come in. And so that's why I remember when the nice lady called and said, oh, because of the hurricane, can we waive some of this stuff to let these people come in freely into Cayman? Because she's got a baby and a stepson. I was like, hell to the blinkety blink. No, we're not going to do that. Say what? Honey child. We ain't about that kind of life, because that has gotten us in trouble before. And then, once Pandora's box is open and they're already here, you cannot undo it. Right? When you find out who they really are and the fact that they're criminals and whatever, it's already too late. So do your checks at the onset. And please, if you get the privilege of becoming a Caymanian, okay? And you are here because we have created an amazing community that is relatively crime-free. Do explain to me how you're going to help Cayman by allowing criminals like this to come into our country. You're helping your son, your nephew, your friend, some fugler man from some back hole of St. Elizabeth, but that's not helping the people of the Cayman Islands. So you all need to stop it. For God's sake, think of your country and how you are ultimately destroying that. I mean, I am just shocked at what Caymanians would pick up. Lord Jesus, nothing of use to nobody. And on top of that, criminals. Lord Jesus. Oh, sorry. Yes, somebody's asking, are all of the shows available on YouTube for viewing? Yep. Check out the YouTube channel. I'm curious as to what knockings and clappings translates to in English. I have to tell you that I have no idea either. When he first said it again, the caption tool did not pick up knockings. So I wasn't quite sure, and I had to ask Marlon to listen to it. I said, is he saying knockings? I think that's what he's saying. And Marlon could only interpret to tell me, yes, that he was saying knockings. Jamaican family and friends, tell us, what is knockings and clappings? Step up. Oh my God. I don't know. Knockings and clappings. It was entertaining listening to it, I must tell you. But I had to listen a few times to kind of correct some of the AI tools, that caption tools allow you to go and actually fix what the person is saying. So I had to go in and fix a few. But yes, knockings and clappings, honey child. All right, Ingrid, thank you so much. Dave says lots of fake degrees and certificates here, getting paid accordingly. Dave. Oh, I think I need, where's that kaboom button? It was a little bit high, so I had to turn it down. Yes, honey child, I can tell you, and they've been doing that from time. I had my place in West Bay, oh God, years and years and years and years ago. I haven't been West Bay now for, oh my God, probably 15. Oh geez, I'm starting to age myself. 15, 20 years. I was there for 7 years. We were there during Hurricane Ivan. So it's been a minute. And what I can tell you is that even then we had, oh my God, one of the worst business decisions I ever made. You live and learn is all I can tell you. So I spent all this money and brought in this, because it was like a business center, internet cafe, photocopying, whatever, and brought in this really nice, like full size printer, scanner, duplexer, photocopier, whatever. And back in those days, it was a pretty penny. I regret buying it in the end. But anyway, you think, people are going to appreciate having a business center with high quality stuff. Lo and behold, one day I'm sitting there and this Filipina lady, I think it was a lady or a man. I think it was a lady. Asked for my assistance. Of course, that's why I'm working in a shop. I'm giving you good customer service, there to help you with your photocopying, whatever. When I realized that what she was doing was she was taking her name on a piece of paper, had it cut out, putting it over the certificate, somebody else's certificate, putting her name over it, was going to photocopy that and then present that as being her certificate. She called me over to help her do this. And I was like, what the fuck are you asking me to do? Excuse my language, but it's past 9:30 now. I was like, Excuse me. You do know I'm a Caymanian, right? You're going to come into Caymanian owned store and ask a Caymanian to help you photocopy and give yourself a fake certificate for qualification you really don't have. On my fucking copier, this copier I spent all this money on to give you guys high quality stuff. That is what you in here trying to do? And then you have the nerve to ask me for my help? I was like, look, you know, that not gonna happen. And I quickly tell them, please get out my store. You cannot use my photocopier for these purposes. That was back in the day. So they've been doing it a long time. Same thing with the nurses. Remember the story that we broke about the fake nurses and how they're using other people's certificates to claim that they have a nursing certification? And it's not, sometimes it's not even that they don't, but what they have can't get them a job here or approved here. So then they're pretending like they have the credentials of somebody else, using somebody else's curriculum and grades and whatever. Y'all better be prepared to check everybody. I don't care which part of the universe they're coming from. Yes, some of these people will do anything to get here. Speaking of anything, do you guys remember just a couple days ago, we were talking about the Filipina lady there, Mary Jean, and her daughter? And someone mentioned that Mary Jean's daughter got herself an anchor baby. I was shocked and I almost did not believe it. But of course, you done know. We got the evidence, honey child. Some proper foolish Caymanian. Right? After this bitch done been reported on all over the news for scamming people alongside her mother. Because some of y'all Caymanians, once it got straight here, that is all that matters to you. Y'all are so incredibly stupid. Rashawn Whitelock, honey child, he gonna get this one pregnant now so that she can have her anchor baby to be able to stay in Cayman. What is wrong with you all? You can't pick up somebody that is at the very minimum not a scammer? I mean, it can't be that hard. There are a dime a dozen out there. So there she is. There she is, honey child, with her Caymanian meal ticket. Ugh, y'all would get anything pregnant. Lord Jesus. Yes, sir. Poor little baby, so sweet. Oh my gosh. But she just like her mommy, nothing but problems, scamming people. And before long, you know, he can go marry her too like a damn fool. And I hope you can pay that $3,000 that she's already being sued for in court. So this is her. You better make sure you did a DNA test too, if you know what I know. Julie Faye Avorke Makuta. She's the oldest daughter of Mary Jean. And yes, her Caymanian men stupid for a little straight-haired post child. Lord Jesus. Just like some of the women stupid for the Jamaican Gangsters, the rest of y'all stupid once it got straight hair. Nothing else don't matter. Wow. Lord Jesus. We need to put a stop to all this. And do you know, now that they're tightening up, you know, the immigration bill is coming, they're going to tighten this up. You know how many are running out right now, quick time, getting their fraudulent marriages done? Stick a pin. Follow me here now. I have a suggestion, and I want y'all to tell me what you think about this suggestion. Until that bill is passed, we should put a kibosh, is that the word I'm looking for? On all marriages. You cannot get married right now. You're going to have to wait. Because they're running in, just like they're running in and renewing the driver's licenses before. That's okay, because the law says within a 6-month period. But they're running in quick time to do the fraudulent marriages before this new law comes into place. So we either need to do either or either, right? We either say, no marriages right now. Y'all gonna have to wait for the new law to put in place. We might have a little problem legally with that. Or we make that law retroactive. Anybody who got married in the last 6 months, because that would have been the time period that y'all would have known about the changes coming, you are subjected to the new requirements. Yeah, I bet you're going to stop them then. What does one say? Bareback says, are you mad because no one wants no personality having Caymanians? Huh? Are you mad because no one wants no personality having Caymanians? I'm confused. What do you mean? Nobody wants Caymanians because they don't have no personality? Then come again. Why are they here trying to get anchor babies for? Why are they lying down with Caymanian men and women if they don't want them? Like, what the fuck? What are you talking about? They don't want Caymanians. They want them to be able to stay in Cayman, though. That's what they want them for. And perhaps we need to do something about that. Lavana says they should look into that. How many people are going to run to get married before January? Exactly. I'm for suspending that shit right now. Bareback, you know how badly they want them? They're even willing to marry old men who have to go get Viagra pills, old seamen to get their seamen's pension. Anybody with a little bit of common sense know that they're being used, but these old men don't realize that. So yeah, they want the Cayman lifestyle. That's what they want. And they'll lay down with druggies and all kind of shit to get it. Tashini says, I agree with Miss Sandy. Kaboom says Clive. El Ray says, yep, pause, suspend it. Miss Sue says, my husband found out that so many bad resumes, all lies. My dear Sadiqa, it must straight down there too. That's all I can tell you. They got these men going stupid. Some people don't have any self-esteem and fall for anything, you know? Carrie says, a Filipina up here got a government job I could do, but because she has an anchor baby, they gave her the job in the same division of the baby's father. Lord Jesus. You see what I'm telling you? Johan talking about call the DG. Lord have mercy. I don't know the difference between knocking or clapping. Ask AI. I don't think AI gonna know either, but Mellow Fellow might be able to tell us. Says, hello, Miss Andy. Knockings and clappings basically means shooting. Oh, really? Damn. I did not know that. Okay, boy, Jamaicans have their own vernacular. They have their own dictionary for sure. It is used loosely to refer to shootings between gangs and generally illegal use of firearms. Well, Mellow Fellow, thank you very much. You certainly educated us this morning. Cayman Kind says we need immigration enforcement out in our communities. Lots of permit violations, illegal entries they would find, just saying, most definitely. And some overstayers who've been here for donkey years. Carrie says McKeever said in Parliament that business owners from Jamaica didn't want it. The children was to not force workers to pay to bring their children here. Not want what? I'm confused. The business owners from Jamaica didn't want it. The children was to not force workers to pay to bring their children here. The visas? I'm confused. But why is McKeever Bush more concerned about Jamaican business owners? I mean, we have to protect all Caymanians, and some of them not even understanding that when they destroy this country and it's no better than where they're running from, what sense does that make? Let's keep it clean, man. Let's keep it clean. Strong Will says knockings and clappings is gunshots. Oh, okay. Thank you. Gabby says not Jamaican, but believe it means murdering of people. Anne Marie, good morning. They mean on alive. Okay. Audio Slave says, dot. Crazy Crack 90. Okay. What the hell? Where y'all come up with these names? Says there's good and bad everywhere, but guess what? The issue again, there is too much of one nationality here in Cayman. Well, here's the problem. We can't switch out the one nationality for another nationality and bringing in bad from that nationality too, right? So I'm all for diversity, but look at all the Nepalese people that are coming here. Bunch of crooks running immigration scams. So we have to have a standard regardless of where you're from. That's why this isn't just Jamaicans. This isn't just Hondurans. This isn't just Filipinos. Wherever you are from, regardless of where you're from, we have to have robust, and I mean very robust systems to be able to check people out, because they are so desperate to come here. They will do anything. Falsify certificates, lay down with some fool West Bay to get an anchor baby or Savannian or whatever. They will do anything. I mean, who has a child to be able to stay somewhere? My God, that is a lifelong responsibility that you have just taken on. But you think these women care? No, they don't care about that. That child is now a Caymanian baby. She's so cute. She's now a Caymanian child. So of course that mother is going to milk that situation and get all the rights off of that child that she can get. Cayman Kind says, what I have been trying to figure out is why is it allowed for Jamaican seniors and children can come to Cayman visa free, and Cayman seniors and children have to go pay for a visa. You know what? I am actually going to ask our Honorable Premier this, if we are going to revisit. In fact, I'm going to do one better than that. I know a Jamaican MP. I'm going to ask him, when are we going to fix this? Because they're making a lot of money off of us now, you see. So that is why they have no intentions of changing it, right? So we eased up our immigration, our visa requirements, and unfortunately, Jamaica did not reciprocate. We should have never done it unless they were willing to reciprocate. That's one thing I will stand by, Cayman Kind. I don't have no problems. Children under 12, not too many of them are going to be criminals. So yes, if you're under 12, you can come in visa free. We know a lot of people during the summer bring their children to visit. It's a hardship on them to be able to pay those visa fees. But guess what? It's a hardship on Caymanians too, who might want to go to Jamaica with a Cayman passport and their children are under 12. So what's good for the goose, say it in unison, is good for the gander. So we have got to, to start requesting now that be changed. And I just messaged a minister there in Jamaica, a government minister, and said, when is this going to be fixed? We relaxed. Let me just message him again. Our visa requirements for Jamaicans, but Jamaica did not reciprocate. Don't you think they should? I'm going to put the minister in the spot, a Jamaican minister. He better be glad I don't have their prime minister number. I'll be messaging him too. Okay, good morning. Check it out, please. Someone got killed by Maple Road. Saw police and fire trucks, not confirmed as yet. Oh, Maple Road. That's down by Hospital Road in Georgetown. Oh, Lord. All right, newscasters, get out there. Let me know what's going down by Maple Road. This person says, I'm pretty fluent in Jamaican patois, but that's a new one for me. I got schooled today 100%. Knockings and clappings. Oh my God, you guys are so funny. Look at this comment. You guys are hilarious. I can't even, you guys need to try and behave. Here's what this listener to the program said. Oh my God, I can't even with you guys. Oh, Lord have mercy. Judging by the photo, at least the child will be well fed. Look at the photo again. Oh God. Yes, sir. Breast milk on supply. Audio Slave says, please don't conflate criminals with regular citizens of Jamaica. Jamaicans are admired all over maybe not in Cayman. You can't blame the entire Jamaica for your obscured perception of Jamaicans. Woo, audio slave. Clearly, you are not a regular listener to the program because you would not make such an uninformed comment. I mean, honest to God, you wouldn't. The vast majority of the listeners to our program are actually Jamaicans, and they well know the score. No one is conflating anybody with anything, okay? And I love when people jump in on this and try to say this kind of nonsense because it is nonsense. All of the good, upstanding Jamaicans don't get insulted when we have these conversations because they know nobody not talking about them. You didn't hear the Jamaicans that called on the show this morning? You're a Johnny come lately, so you don't understand what's actually going on here. Nobody not conflating nothing. Hello, boss. What's up? Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh, okay. Ah, okay. Thank you. All right. So we got some clarifications that knockings and clappings is shootings and killings. So knocking and clappings means shootings and killings. So you can shoot somebody, not necessarily kill them, but those two, that's the term apparently being used in that context. Okay. Well, like we said, we were schooled here today. Let's go back to Audio Slave's point, right? No one has any obscured perception of Jamaicans. Okay. We well know the score. My grandfather was from St. Elizabeth. He was a Jamaican. I'm married to a Jamaican husband. I am very well versed in what Jamaicans are up to. It's so funny, though, that you say that they are admired all over the world because not for nothing, and they do have a large population that leaves Jamaica and goes elsewhere. And again, I'm not saying all Jamaicans because my in-laws are in Louisiana. You know, one is an emergency room nurse. Her husband stays at home and takes care of the kids. Children are top-notch A students. There are Jamaicans who do go elsewhere and make Jamaicans proud. But I would pick a little argument with you and say that there's a lot of Jamaicans who are out there involved in criminality and doing the most and making Jamaica look really, really bad. And everywhere they go, they be making the most trouble. Yes, and the good Jamaicans, who we're not talking about this morning, they get royally pissed off because the bad Jamaicans can't stop being criminals. It's a country of over 3 million people. But I can tell you that regardless of that, they are, regardless of that, they don't have the best name anywhere that they go. Sorry to tell you that, but they don't. So I don't know what la la land you're living in, but y'all will be all right. Because once again, we're not talking about the good Jamaicans. They don't get offended by this at all. In fact, on a regular basis, they be messaging me, cussing their own Jamaicans out, saying, boy, even yesterday, when this video came out, one Jamaican lady called me, she said, Sandy, me so sick and tired of them, you see. And I said, Lord God, what a mess. So if you fall into the decent category, you don't need to be insulted. This don't apply to you. Merstar said kaboom. Okay. Who the cap fit? If the cap don't fit, then don't worry about it. It's a house got on fire. Which fire? There's a fire? Angela says it's not about patois, it's about slang. I am still on air. Do not say a word. I'll call you in a bit. Yeah?
Sandra?
I'll call you in a bit. Don't say nothing. I'm still on air.
Okay.
Okay, hon. All right, bye. Woo, when you're about to get the good stuff, the good sauce. Potter, Matthew, who's beautiful? Are you one of those fake accounts? Oh, Lord, yes, your profile looks fake. Y'all think you can put up a nice white person profile and we can think you're special? Nope. We will be blocking you now, sir. Goodbye, Matthew Potter. with your fake account, telling everybody they look beautiful. We know we're beautiful. He says you're beautiful and amazing. We know that already. You don't have to tell us. We're Caribbean people. Of course we're beautiful and amazing. Duh. Now, let me block you, honey chair. There we go. Bullaman says Jamaican street slang isn't patois. Oh, well, I'm no expert. So the knockings and the clappings, honey child. Having a baby and a work permit is a red flag. And the women should be sent home to have the baby when she's on her maternity leave, and the employer should report it to immigration. But you see now, Caymanians are foolish. A lot of Caymanians are very fool, simple-minded. Like I said, all they need is a little straight hair to turn their heads. These men, they go ping. Once they see straight hair, they get stiff like I don't know what. Okay? So he's going to argue that him now and this woman, they're not married or anything else, have a right to family life. Because, yes, she has a baby. Now that child is Caymanian. DNA test has proven the child's Caymanian. So the child has a right to stay here. And I mean, legally, I see the argument. What a mess. Andrea says, watch out on castigating Savannah, West Bay, Newlands, fool people. But guess you talking about male, don't include me. I'm a female. Miss Andrea, I can assure you that as Caymanians, the foolishness runs from one district from the east straight all the way back to the west. It don't matter. It's the individuals. Once again, we're talking about a certain portion of the population. They will be fooled by anything. The men and women, I kind of feel like are fooled equally, but they're fooled by different things. It's kind of funny, you know, because our men are fooled by straight hair and a low fair skin. The women, on the other hand, they pick up all kind of riffraff. Like the women don't seem to care about the looks. What is that? What's up with that, women? Y'all just pick up any shit. Yeah. They be looking fugly. When I say fugly, I mean fucking ugly big time. And y'all still pick them up. Tell me you got a husband. And you be walking around like you're so proud. When we all know it's a marriage of convenience, you using them and they using you. And you want me posting pictures up on social media. And my poor little eyes be burning mega, putting eye drops because they so ugly. So I don't know. It's kind of weird, Andrea. I've noticed a pattern. Caymanian men tend to step it up, at least in the looks department. I mean, maybe I should rephrase that because some of them don't look good either, but at least they have straight hair. And I guess Caymanians men think that that's a good thing to find a woman with straight hair. That way you can't talk to them, but a Spaniard, you know, oh God, they love a Spaniard. But I have a theory about these things that go beyond the straight hair and fair skin. There are some women, again, when you come from poorer countries, you learn at a very early age how to please a man and how to make yourself available. So let me put it this way. They make any hole available to man to use, abuse, and whatever. And some men are really, some of these Caymanian men are nasty. They're into that sort of thing, perverts. And so whilst a good Caymanian wife not gonna really be doing all of that, they'd be like, no, boy, you can't go there. That a back door. Donna for what them people from certain countries, they've learned this is a commodity. I got this body. So whatever they want to do with it, they want to throw it up on the chandelier, swirl it around, slap it, whatever. I'm here for it. And so they be making their little toes curl. That's how good they claim the sex be. And so, you know, some people with their little freaky deeka thing going on, that's what they're attracted to. Melanie says the bosses are greedy. They're selling permit space and they have the license merely to do business and no workplace or no jobs. That is absolutely correct. A lot of people taking out, permits for people that they don't have any work for. That I can tell you. We got a lot of cleaning up to do, and ultimately it does begin with Caymanians. We have to protect our own borders because there's only so much that the minister can do. There's only so much that the chief officer can do. There's only so much that CBC can do and border control and immigration, because if Caymanians themselves are hell bent on bringing people in who are not good people, who are using the system, et cetera, how can we expect any better? And I say this from an informed position, because the same thing is happening even in my own family. I see family members, the only people they can marry are Jamaicans. After marriage number 4 and 5, I'm going to say to you that maybe you need to pick somebody else, because clearly you got a problem in terms of the selection of people that you are choosing to marry and bring into this country. So, as a result of that, and we know these are marriages of convenience. If somebody is on marriage number 3 or 4 from the same country, these marriage officers need to say, I'm not marrying you. I don't know where you and go to get married. Because the other thing is, if the marriage officer refused to marry you, what are you going to do? Immigration needs to say, no, TD. Marriage number 4 and you still in your 40s? All Jamaican men? We don't know what kind of kibosh thing you going on here with, but this is not adding up. These are fraudulent relationships. And then every time they're ready to divorce them, oh, you got to kick them off the island because of this and that and whatever. Really? Why the frig you brought them here to begin with? That is the better question. So you see, the problem is Caymanians, you are your own worst enemy if you're engaging in this kind of behavior. And like I said, Miss Andrea, if the cap don't fit, then it ain't got nothing to do with you. You can just sit back and listen. But if y'all don't understand the number of Caymanians that are doing this, and a lot of them, unfortunately, uneducated, yes, real deal, you're absolutely right, uneducated, ghetto themselves, looking for, oh, well, he said he got carpenter skills, so he can come here and work for me. And they be charging these, and some of these little guys, I'm not blaming the guys all the time, because some of these little Jamaican guys are decent little guys. They just poor. They just piss poor, and they trying to build a better life. So of course they figure, okay, I come to Cayman, I latch on to one little fat Caymanian woman. She gonna be desperate for man. Y'all need to stop being so desperate. Okay? And then the women be treating them like shit. Some of the women be beating on them, be assaulting them, be doing the most. And every Friday, you better come with my $500 or else. That is all the foolishness that is going on here. It's like, come on, man. Really? Yep, you're right. So they do what they do best, destroy the country by making bad choices. Real deal, let me give you a kaboom. Yep. Bareback says, we want the same benefits the white man afforded Cayman. Well, what are you talking about? What white man? Afforded where? You lost my bubble. I don't even know what you're talking about. The white people don't tend to enter into too many marriages of convenience. There have been a few historically back in the day. Some of the lawyers, just before it was easy for them to get it, just by being rich, they would latch on to some Caymanians too. But most of them, they just like a little swirl in their coffee, honey chill. They just like a beautiful looking Caribbean woman. Nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying. Lavana says, yep, they're marrying people on drugs, etc., and paying them anything to stay here for the Cayman benefits. Now, you know anybody who marrying somebody on drugs, you know that gotta be fraudulent. Come on now. You gonna be in love with a crackhead? Not even a Caymanian want him. Run and get married, says Tartarian. It was said by the minister. He is on it. Lord have mercy. Dean Gillette says Caymanian men sweet. Apparently so are the women. What a heat. No, sir. Referring to the woman picking up T. Greg's. Jonathan, I'm sorry. What is T. Greg's? Picking up what? T. Greg's? What is that? Ven says Caymanian men love Hondurans. They love anything with straight hair. It don't make no difference what it is. It could be like literally a monkey. Once the hair straight, and then, you know, like I said, they make them do whatever sexually. These Caymanian men is all for it. Strong willed. I gotta find that video of myself again. It's sweet, it's sweet, it's sweet. Trust me. I gotta ask my friend at 345 for that video. I gotta keep that in my available. Oh Lord, Flora says skin color, Coca-Cola body as well. Pour them. And you know, the thing about it is they're not gonna be, most of them, this is just a transaction for them. So they're not gonna be loyal to you. Some of y'all be burying them and they're younger than your kids and all kind of foolishness. They are just here for the benefits. And then they got side men on you as well. So it's a hot mess. You're not offending me. You're not offending me at all, Audio Slave. I'm just letting you know what we know, right? And a lot of us have very, very close connections to Jamaicans because historically, Caymanians have Jamaican family, married to Jamaicans, et cetera, et cetera. So not that you're offending me, but I just want to set the record straight because unfortunately, a lot of people get that wrong. They think that we don't know the score and we don't know good Jamaicans from bad Jamaicans. We know the difference. You know, but unfortunately, too many Jamaicans out there causing trouble. Y'all need to deal with your own people over there. Let's be honest now, it's not the safest place in the world. At one point, it was the murder capital of the world. Sort your own shit out, but we can't help you sort your shit out. That's the point I'm trying to make. And I don't care where you're from. You understand what I'm saying? I don't care if you're from Honduras, Jamaica, the US, Canadian, whatever. It don't make no difference to me. Today, we happen to be talking about Jamaicans because of if you go back to the beginning of the conversation, we started out because of this blogger saying that you guys right there in the Cayman Islands have these Jamaican criminals, gangsters, as he said, what do you say? What was the term he used? Popping and cracking or whatever the heck he said. So we're talking about a very specific situation. So yes, our Jamaicans are being highlighted yet again. And we have had historically a number of criminals who come here from Jamaica and cause nothing. To get some water. Cause nothing but pure trouble. So we know what we're talking about. Even a police officer wanted for murder ran from Jamaica and came here and got a job as a police officer. So we know what we are talking about. We had a next police officer. You know how many police officers? All Jamaicans, I should add. One was scamming some little old lady out of her house. He's serving jail time. Him and his wife, because she was stealing from people too. Right? And then the next one, he was involved with a Caymanian criminal, West Bay, threatening witnesses after he murdered his own son so that the witness would not go and testify to the police. They sent a Jamaican police officer to deliver the message to the witness that if you talk, you done for. The majority of drug boats that are coming into this country are coming by way of Jamaica. And yes, our no good son of a bitch Caymanians out there helping Jamaicans bring drugs into this country to destroy this country. Nobody is living in La La Land on this program. We know what the score is. We know who of our own up to no good and causing trouble. And the one criminal element they will work with quicker than anybody else are Jamaicans. They're right next door. 45 minutes by plane. So they're working with them and bringing the drugs to Cayman, left, right, and center. They're working with them in fraudulent marriages, fraudulent work permit schemes, et cetera, et cetera. But I'm not excluding anybody. You say you travel the world and Jamaicans are admired. Well, I mean, I guess we'll have to see admired for what? For your music? I mean, when you're in a DJ booth, of course they're admiring you then. There was just a story the other day about this Jamaican who got deported. He's one of the ones getting deported from the US and they sent him to Africa. I'm like, why are they sending this dude to Africa? Send him back to Jamaica. That's a quicker flight and cheaper too. Let me see if I can find that one for you. You know how many times we report on Jamaicans in the States involved in all kind of criminality, molesting people, children, doing all kind of stuff? I'm just saying. Nobody not trying to insult Jamaicans, but let's just say that, you know, they're out there doing the most. They're not the Jimmy Cliffs of the world. May he rest in peace. 81 years old. He was admired. People like him put Jamaica on the map for all the right reasons. Colin Powell. Yes, people like that are admired. But there's far more out there making poor decisions and making the country look bad than there are the good ones who are making the country look good. And we report on as many as we can, good and bad. Don't take no insult to it.
Country look bad.
Hello, caller. Turn down your radio for me, please.
Good morning. Good
morning. How are you?
I'm good. And since you're naming out Jamaicans,
well, we name them all, but let's continue.
Let me add one to that too. Could I add Red more?
Sorry, say that again.
His father,
Sorry.
Professor Harris.
Professor Harris. Who's Professor Harris?
Pamela Harris's father.
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes, of course. Yeah, yes. There's plenty that have done amazing things.
That's right.
You know, we report on them too. So now I tell people, don't get insulted. If it doesn't apply to you, it don't apply to you.
Yeah, and I mean, let's be fair and apply common sense. We can't put everybody in the same grab bag.
Exactly.
But I will say to every Jamaican what their own have said to them.
Mm-hmm.
They have given themselves the brand they now have. And that's not just in Cayman.
Mm-hmm.
That's everywhere in the world. They need to accept that first, and they need to deal with that. Don't hate on us. Don't hate on anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
They get deported from the UK. They get deported from the USA. They're blaming us for that too. And why they get deported from these places.
Exactly.
Certainly not because of anything that we did or say. And those places could accommodate them. I mean, they can run from counter to counter in the UK and hide, and they could do the same thing with the states, from state to state.
Mm-hmm.
And look at the size we are. So why do you think that you would be hidden here? I mean, yeah, you get in here, God knows how, but why do you think you can get lost in the crowd here?
Mm-hmm.
But Sandra, I wanted to say this to you, if you don't mind.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to say it yesterday based on, you know, the nature of the show you had yesterday. But this thing about these people, whether they found the man's card and used it or whether they stole it from him and used it, that part is irrelevant.
Exactly.
But what I want to speak about is the type of card it was. And because if I'm not mistaken, it said it was an American Express card, right?
No. Well, let me tell you now. The American Express card, they couldn't use. The one with all of the charges on it was actually a CNB card. And, you know, when I spoke to the card holder's wife, I said to her, I said, normally CNB is pretty good about verifying transactions and whatever. And I said, let me ask you a question, but I guess now Christmas time coming up, they know people are shopping. I said, do you have the option on your phone? Because I have it, where when you use your CNB debit or credit card, you are immediately notified. And she said, no, she was not aware that CNB even had that option. Oh God, if you have a CNB debit card, turn this on, or a credit card, because you get an SMS message in real time. I mean to tell you, that's why a lot of them say, oh, do you need your receipt? I said, nope, I got it on my phone. As soon as that transaction happens, it comes right in.
I know, because I mean, I bank with CNB as well.
Yes.
And I don't just get I get the email and the SMS.
Yes. Because sometimes if you're traveling and you don't have your SMS on, you want to make sure you can get it. Absolutely.
Well, like I said, I'm old school. I like to cover things. And when it comes to auditing, you got to be very careful. But anyway.
They were not successful with American Express, interestingly enough.
Okay. But what I wanted to speak about is the American Express card. And this the Bank of Nova Scotia is the agent in Cayman and the Caribbean for American Express. Okay, and I realized they have not notified merchants here in Cayman that they need to be extremely careful now with anybody coming to them with an American Express card. Because I may have said this on your show already, but anyway, all people in the Caribbean, or unless you are an American living in the Caribbean and you still have the Social Security number, you don't have an American Express card anymore. So if I came to your store and I was trying to make a purchase now with my American Express card, you should, and they should do it with every card. I don't know why they've stopped, but you should ask for an ID. And if they had asked for an ID with these people, these cards, that would have been stopped at the first store they went to. But I'm noticing that no one is asking you for an ID anymore, regardless of what card you're using. And that could be once upon a time when there were 40,000 people in Cayman, that and everybody knew who everybody was. They were asking you for it then. They're not doing it now. And the danger with it is now you don't even have to enter a PIN number on those cards if you do the touch. Okay, you can actually bypass that PIN number. So when people set out to scam, they've done their homework. They know what they're doing. But just to say to anyone who might be a merchant that is listening, be extremely careful with anyone coming to pay you with an American Express card. Do your due diligence and ask for an ID. And also, maybe you should check with Bank of Nova Scotia and find out what is the information that they should have published. Because no one without a Social Security number now can have an American Express card. And I think by now, everyone that had one, that it has now been cancelled because they were doing it in quarters, depending on the alphabet of your name. So in other words, somebody like me with A, I would have been in the first catchment. And then it went down, down, down. So, yeah. So, I mean, I don't know, you don't have to say on air, but I imagine that you might have a Social Security number. So if you had one, you would be able to retain yours. And even if, you were notified, you could reapply because you do have a U.S. success you can use along with that Social Security number.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's why a lot of those stores, you can't get a card with them anymore because you need that Social Security number. That's boss in the U.S.
Oh, yeah.
And if you don't, it doesn't matter where in the world you come from. And they look at you and they ask you for Social Security number. And you say, no, I'm not American. I don't have it. Automatically, that raises every red flag for them. Because they obviously don't. It would surprise you how many Americans don't know that America is not the world. So I have to ask them many times if they realize there's 6 other continents out there. But anyway, just to say that Bank of Nova Scotia did not do their job. They did not notify merchants and they didn't even notify card holders. Okay? And they are the agents. So, to all of the merchants and anybody that is listening, that you normally shop the people, the people, and so on, let them know. They have to be extremely careful now with who's paying them with an American Express card.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, they didn't ask you back for the cards, So, for example, I can use mine as an example. The expiry date on my card is still good. So I could take it and try to use it, or someone could steal it and try to use it. Hopefully it would decline because the account should be closed by now. But just to say, they didn't say send the cards back or do a video call with you and say, cut the card. We need to see you cut up the card. You understand?
Yes.
So
wow.
the merchants need to protect themselves. And the good thing about American Express is that their security system is a lot better than Visa or MasterCard. Because
wow.
Because just to say, if I was purchasing something and using my American Express card, and it was somewhere that I didn't really shop with a lot, or it was a first-time purchase, they would not approve that. No, they would hold it, and they would say, the merchant then would come back to me and say, we're not getting approval on your card. I knew exactly what that meant. American Express wanted me to call them to verify that that was really me making that purchase. And then once they heard from me, they said, you would back. Yeah. Unlike Visa and MasterCard, and people do not know this, once that, this is not Cayman National Bank that is approving that charge. That is the CIF, the Central Information System. That is where that gets approved. And where you, the customer, is going to end up on the losing end is if someone has made a purchase and the merchandise is now in your possession, the merchant is out of pocket. So the merchant is going to fight and say, no, you approved it. My merchandise is gone. So more than likely, you may not get your money back. Okay? Now, if it's an online thing and the merchant hasn't yet sent the stuff out and they catch it in time, now you're okay because you can get your money back. So I say that to say, please be very careful with your cards. Make sure you know where your cards are. Even if you're going to hold up the line, stand up, put your card back in your pocket, your wallet, whatever you keep it in, and make sure you know where it is. It amazes me how many cards that I see you posting.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's crazy.
People have lost.
It is so crazy. All right. Thank you very much, caller.
All right. Okay.
Absolutely. So we got to tell you guys about a special being brought to you by Digicel. So of course, if you're in the market for a new phone, Black Friday specials are here. Honey child, today is Friday after all.
Ah, Christmas, the season of love, laughter, and just a little bit of chaos. Sometimes the ham has other plans, and sometimes the road to Christmas cheer feels longer than the 12 days themselves. Was it 3 eggs or 4? Better call Granny, she always knows. And of course, what's Christmas without a little potluck drama? But in the rush and the mix-ups, it's easy to forget what matters most. That's when the magic of connection happens. Because after all, Christmas isn't about perfection, it's about real connection. This Christmas runs on Real Connection. Only with Digicel.
All right, folks. So Digicel has some amazing specials on for the holiday season. There's some Black Friday deals that you need to be made aware of. So we've got the select new phones for Black Friday. You can do both prepaid and post. It's for both prepaid and postpaid customers, both new and existing customers. I know some of the postpaid customers always complain that they don't get a deal. Well, apparently Digicel has you taken care of, honey child. Listen to this. Massive phone savings up to 60% off. You can get a Samsung A26 for just $115. That's a savings of 50%. And that's with your 5-day plan included. You've got the Samsung A36 for only $215. That is a 50% savings right there. And you also get a 10-day plan included. Then you have the i4 15. Sorry, my apologies. The i4 14 on sale for only $395, and that is almost 50% off with a 30-day plan included. So that is for prepaid customers. And then, of course, like I said, postpaid customers, you're not going to be left out. You can upgrade to the new iPhone 17 with 256 gig of storage for only $999. And that is over 60% off of the regularly priced $1,500. That's the new iPhone 17. Nice. And for those of you who are in good stead with them on your postpaid plan, you can get financing available for existing postpaid customers. So listen, this sale is going to be running now November 27th. That was yesterday through Tuesday, December the 2nd. You've got until Tuesday to grab one of those deals. In-store locations only. You've got Cayman Bay, Waterfront in Georgetown, and Countryside locations. And of course, some terms and conditions do apply, and that is while supplies last. So if you're looking for a phone for Christmas, Digicel has got you covered. They say pop into the store and get one of these specials now. And do you know that with the postpaid option for the iPhone 17, not only are you going to save basically $500, that's $999 for the price, you're also going to have the option to do for customers who qualify the financing option where you can put it on your account. This is their biggest phone sale of the year. So go ahead and check in store and see what they have available. Yes, sir. Digicel, come on through, honey child. Very good, very good. All right. So thank you, Miss Brenda. Some wise words there about how to protect yourself. We have to do these things. You know, we have to be smarter about saving a little bit of money. Dave Williams. Who's Dave Williams? He's in the comment section saying a bunch of nonsense. People are messaging me. So yes, CNB will send you email or text message, but you have to sign up for it. It's not an automatic thing, but it's really easy to do. If you have online banking, you can tell them, or you can email them and say, please ensure that I get notifications linked to my cards. And that is the best thing to do. Nadir, good morning. Oh, Nadir, how are you? Did you make it to America? Are you still en route, or did you get to Trump yet, to Trump land? He was trying to get to the US. He left Cayman. Nadir, ¿cómo estás? ¿Cómo estás? Buenos días. Why are people triggered by Caymanian men? I don't know. Let's go back to Dave Williams. Apparently, he's an expert on Caymanian men and relations. He says, let me say this based on my observation. Okay. A lot of Jamaicans actually gave some Caymanian the opportunity to have companionship, family, and financial help because no other nationality want to be with them, especially their own Caymanian men. Lord Jesus. No, Dave, you did not have to go there. I can assure you there's lots of people out there that you can find for companionship. Trust me. And as someone who's married to a Jamaican husband, I didn't marry him because I was looking companionship. I had options, and I had a lot of options. I just chose him because he was a really nice guy, smart. He had a lot of the qualities that I was looking for. So being Jamaican wasn't a criteria one way or the other. And I mean, Dave, that's your observation. But what I can tell you, what I know of some Caymanians, because we have to admit that some of our own people are very, very prejudiced. There's a lot of Caymanians that would never entertain a Jamaican, no matter what qualities they had. And that's the bad side of some Caymanians too. So I don't quite think, again, I don't know who you're observing. You say based on your observations. So that's based on your observations. I don't know what kind of crack-a-lackin' you are observing, but you know, those people are probably marriages of convenience. It's not really companionship they're looking. They're looking for that $500 every Friday that as a construction worker, he can be coming putting in their hand. It's a transaction. Caller, good morning. Honey child.
Good morning, honey child.
How are you? I'm good. I'm good. Getting into all this relationship drama.
Blessed and highly favored beyond all measures.
Beautiful.
Kaboom to Miss Brenda.
Yes.
I had a senior last month reported to me that all of her money was going out of her account and her card did not leave her sight.
Oh.
And they won eBay. She said she don't even know what eBay is, much less
G's peace.
But I said that to say this. I went to the supermarket this week and I purchased some stuff and I used my card and they didn't even ask for an ID.
Yeah, they're not
That's
doing
not.
that.
I've been speaking to people here and lately.
Yes.
Up to last night, I went into a convenience store and they just what do you call it? Tap my card. Didn't even ask me I have an ID to compare to this card. And that's where people are getting away with robbing people when they steal their cards because IDs are not required here anymore, which it should be. And I would ask each and every store owner to have their workers request IDs when they are using cards. When it's a card transaction, may I please have your ID? That would also help and defrauding a lot of this things that are going on, especially now that it's Christmas. Everybody is money hungry and want to go and shop where they never with what they didn't work for. So I would encourage every business place.
Yes.
May I please have an ID to go with this card?
Yep.
Simple. Easy as that. We need to protect one another. We need to help one another. You understand? And a lot of times, which all the time, people are not knowledgeable that this is happening unless they report that their card have been stolen or their card have been lost. So I just want to put that out there to encourage everyone. Say, hey, may I have an ID to go with this card? 2 seconds. That's all it takes.
Yeah.
2
And
seconds.
we said this on Monday because, as I watched the video and all this stuff of these people, it was really, really clear that unfortunately the sales clerks in these stores were, they were just too quick to rack up a sale. So they have to do a better job.
Yes, and before you know, some of them might be on board, know what's going on. Some of them would be on board. But what I want to say about CNB, when I make a purchase on Amazon, sometimes they would call, Ms. Welcome, did you just use your card on Amazon? And I would say, well, yes, I did. But at the end of the day, all of these transactions that are going on back to back, look at with my senior, these transactions were back to back, and they didn't choose to call. They didn't detect that and choose to call the senior and say, "Ma'am, is it you?" Because it was wasn't a huge amount at a time. But at the end of the day, it was something that was frequently going. And that alone should that bring some sort of alarm to CNB. CNB also need to pay more attention and help their customers in this way as well. Because if you see transaction after transaction, that should raise an alarm in their system.
I agree. I absolutely agree. And I will tell you, I've said this before, everybody knows I love me some CNB, but everybody has room for improvement. I found that when CNB had this division being outsourced in Trinidad, they were on top of it like white on rice. Nothing wasn't passing them. All hours of the night, I'd be getting emails from them. And if they did not hear back from me, they would block that card until they heard back from me. So they were doing a very, very good job. So what I would say now is, I understand that they're a little short-staffed with the local, having it back here locally. Listen, at the end of the day, most people are not going to care who's sending that email. They just want to know that their hard-earned money isn't going to disappear. Because when it happens, the bank will, most instances, eventually give you your money back. But then it's going to take time for that to happen because they have to carry out their investigations. And you have to fill out a form and a report and a this and a that. So it's not always easy. You understand me?
Correct.
Yeah.
It is so true. Yes.
So
yes. And before I
vigilant.
go, I would like the opportunity to let everyone know that there's a pasta sale going on tomorrow, God's will, and 8 of assisting me. $15 for the chicken pasta with Alfredo sauce, and $20 for the shrimps. Please come out and support. Thank you.
And tell people what the support is for, because they may not know.
Yes, the support is for me to get back a van.
Okay, there you go.
So I really appreciate it. Thank you.
My dear. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Have a good one.
Bye-bye.
All right, folks. So yes, some good advice there. Of course, I would recommend that everyone follows the advice, folks. You gotta, you gotta protect yourselves as well, right? This is all about, there are criminals out there from all walks of life, trying to separate you from your hard-earned money. You cannot allow them to do so. So be smart, turn on these alerts. And I see a comment here that you can actually set with the bank how much the tap and go amount is. I didn't even know that. So I think that I need to reach out to CNB. I don't know what mine is set at. I thought it was actually the merchants themselves that decided how much they would allow. Because when I go to the States, I tap and go and stuff, and it's like tap and go and gone. So I'll look into that, because I didn't know that it was the consumer who could actually do that. So I'm glad you mentioned that. Thank you so much. I'm going to ask CNB a little bit about that so that we can be in a more informed position. Because again, as we always say in the Caribbean, an ounce of prevention is better than a pound of cure. And that is so incredibly true. It is harder to undo a situation and try to get things back, as opposed to, let's try to prevent it to begin with. Agreed? Yes, honey chill. So thank you guys so much. Just checking a few messages here. Plain and Straight says we need to return to asking for ID when credit cards or debit cards are presented. All they've done is make it easier for the thieves to steal our hard-earned money. Miss Sue Bodden says, Dave Williams, WTF, you don't say. Ignorance is stupidity. I think Dave, let's give Dave the benefit of the doubt, because he said from his observations, I think the problem with Dave is he haven't observed quite a number of relationships. So he's going from the ones that he's seen, and that seems to be a particular caliber of individuals. There's no shortage of men around here, I'll be honest with you. Now, maybe, I don't know, Caymanian women might have a thing for Jamaican men. I don't know, again, what they're bringing to the table. I can only speak about the things that I found attractive in my individual husband. Generally speaking, I can't really say that about Jamaican men, because most of them really not my cup of tea. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I don't know what they're packing, whether it's in the wallet, which doesn't seem to be the case. I don't think they're packing anything extra in the pants. That's standard, more or less. They're not like your African brothers that come in well equipped. I'm just saying. I don't know what it is. I don't know. Probably just proximity. And the fact that we have so many Jamaicans here, over half the population here in Cayman, highest number of work permits, highest number of foreigners here are actually Jamaicans. So of course, just statistically speaking, you're bound to meet a Jamaican more than you would any other nationality. So it becomes a pure numbers game when you think about it. The numbers are in your favor, Jamaicans. Come to Cayman, apparently. The numbers are in your favor in terms of that. Come out of these people country, Jamaicans. Migration can't always be the solution. Stand up and fight for your country. These people see y'all as a bunch of joke. You will never be respected. Well, again, West Kingston, whoever takes that advice from you, then they would know why they're not respected here and why they need to take that advice. There have been a lot of Jamaicans who have come here, including my grandfather, who was extremely well respected, had businesses, tried to help wayward youth here in Cayman, married a Caymanian, left land for all of his children, was a respectable man. You didn't walk up to Charles Barnes and tell him that nobody not going to respect him just because he was a Jamaican. But he also left Jamaica at the age of 13 and never went back. And he traveled all over the world. So I dare say that his exposure was beyond, even back in those days, was beyond what was in Jamaica. He went to Belize. He was in Honduras. The man was all over the place, chefing it up and doing his thing. And he was a really smart guy. So, but, whoever feels a way about it, Like I've said, no one is begging you to be here. Absolutely no one. No one are begging nobody to be here. Because for every one that leaves, wherever you're from, we got 10 waiting to come. So if you feel like you're not respected here and you don't want to be here, by all means, the planes leave every single day. Right? We've said this to our Canadian friends, the Maple Leaf Mafia. We've said it to our American friends, UK, English. I don't care where you're from. Don't be here and be miserable. Don't be here and not want to be part of this community. The plane is there, and you are more than welcome to leave at any given time that you want to leave. It's as simple as that. Mm-hmm. Gabby says, us Caymanian women don't want to marry a Caymanian man because sometimes we don't know if we're family or not. That is one consideration. This lady realizes that Jamaicans speak bad about each other, and she's exploiting it. What she doesn't say about Jamaicans, it's her insinuations, the need to go out of her way to disrespect. West Kingston, this is your first time listening to the program, obviously. And you seem to be missing the mark with a lot of stuff. Really and truly. The one nationality I help the most with all sorts of stuff. Everything under the sun, including employment abuses, getting their money back from work permit scams. You know, one Cayman ninja scamming them on the job site at the King's, what's it called? That one there across from the wharf or next to the wharf. Those are Jamaicans that I'm helping. You're clueless about what you're talking about. I can't be insulted by what you're saying because you don't even know what you're talking about. You don't have your facts. So maybe what you should do is, instead of jumping in here and, commenting on stuff that you don't even know anything about, maybe you should just sit back and listen and learn, and then you'll understand. My position is very clear. I stand for right, and I do not stand for wrong. And if you're Jamaican and you're involved in criminality and doing wrong, then you will be called out. It's as simple as that. And if you get offended by that, then that's your business. Like I said, you certainly don't have to listen to the show. You don't have to be in Cayman. You can leave. And to all the sensible, good Jamaicans who are doing all the right things, right? Including my husband, including all of our friends who are Jamaicans, then they're good to go. My goodness. Y'all be getting up in your feelings. And I notice that when you get in your feelings, there's normally a reason why. Like I said, who the cap fit, you wear it. Anthony says it's all in the lies and entertainment, Sandy, nothing else. They got the Caymanian women fool. Well, apparently they're already fool. All right, so go out and support Mr. Amelia tomorrow. There's the phone number that you can call to pre-order, place your orders. Location is going to be at the T.E. Macfield Center starting at 12 o'clock. And this is helping her raise funds, again, for her van that unfortunately was set on fire. Gabby says Jamaican men ain't my cup of tea. My husband is from Honduras. Okay. Trisha says, what I don't get is why Jamaicans take offense to hearing these comments, period, when it's all true. However, it's not all Jamaicans are like anywhere else, but it's true. Come on. You know what is so funny, Trisha, is they themselves, you go on any news website, right? Right now, if you go to Facebook, let's go to Jamaican Gleaner. You're going to see that they will have a day. There's hardly ever a day that a murder didn't happen. They celebrated the other day because they finally had a 24-hour period with no murders. Okay. But every day they've got murders. They've got all this drama and stuff going on. They be in the comment talking, saying Jamaicans are the worst. Y'all murdering people, children, raping people, children. Y'all not no good. Everywhere in the world you go, you're causing trouble and da-da-da-da. Oh my God, their deaths have risen to 14 for that leptospirosis. Oh no, that's horrible. So, all you have to do is go read the daily thing and you'll see, they speak the truth on themselves. Nobody not got a time for you, Bobo. Oh my gosh, poor you. Oh my God. Congratulations. They actually had a telethon that raised over $65 million for Hurricane Melissa. victims. So that's good news. Oh, the poor children are stressed out from the storm. Okay. So here's a 60-year-old in St. Catherine. The shooting death of a 60-year-old resident yesterday morning. The deceased has been identified as Alfonso Samuel McDonald, otherwise called Boo. Police report that around 5:30 explosions were heard in the area. And, you know, that has a few comments. And you go there and again, they're like, boy, these Jamaicans doing these murderation, making us look bad. Crosses, place that. That's all in the comment section, honey child. So I can't help you. You know, I can't help you. Go, and I do agree. 53-year-old son charged for murder of his 80-year-old woman. Lord Jesus. That has 164 comments. And how much do you want to bet that every one of them is like, y'all Jamaicans, pure evil. You're not no good. You bring damnation upon the country with your sinning and your this and that. See this one? Him wicked. Jesus, keep me closer to the cross. Bring your Bible, come. Lord, come look at us. Look what them doing to the country. Yeah. This one has the crows, the John Crows. Where did they find a little emoji thing with John Crows? This one said, my God, your mother. This one said, I'm wicked. Taking people life, them. Oh, Lord God, mercy, your mother. Lock him up and dash with a key. You know. Miss Stacy, is that you laughing at me? Don't be laughing at me with my Jamaican accent. Come on now, give me a little credit. China sends medical team to support Jamaica's hurricane recovery. Oh, that's nice. The Chinese trying to come in. Oh, Lord God. All right, you'll be fine. You'll be fine, sir. Howard Fraser, this woman is so hateful. Which woman? You certainly cannot be talking about me. But that's your opinion. You'll be fine too. Since this new law was mentioned, I've heard many men say that they're not gonna stay. Right off, that tells me that they did not get married for the right reasons. Yes. Then go. You can go. It's fine. Doesn't matter. Like I said, everybody can go. What do you want this woman, Sandra, to do? Fight fairly, not the one who has no opponent against you. Wait a minute. What do you want this woman, Sandra, to do? Fight fairly, not the one who has no opponent against you. Why are the people calling you? Why don't you observe that you are on the wrong side? You should be the one to tell the good things to the children. You should be on social media. You shouldn't be slandering someone who is not against you. You're defaming a person who has nothing against you. You should go to hell. Oh, you're talking about the Filipino. Oh gosh, y'all are really up in your feelings. What are you talking about? Yeah, all of y'all up in y'all feelings today because we're speaking the truth. I'm assuming you're talking about Mary Jean's daughter. And what did you say? That I should be telling the children? What? You should go tell the good things to the children? What good things are you talking about? Because if we're not warning our people, let's just go back here now. If we're not warning our people about scammers like this woman and her daughter, allow me, whatever the Chinese name is there that you have, allow me to refresh your memory. This has nothing to do with good or bad. This is simply reporting the facts. All right. Her mother got deported after reported on her at least 5, 6, 7 times. Here we have a woman, both her and the daughter, right? Borrowed $3,000 from someone, refused to pay it back, and then they were sued by the Real Deal Limited, saying that they want their money back. The mother has a history of deceptive behavior. And we could, again, all you have to do is Google her name, and you see how she has stolen from people multiple times, time and time again. These are facts, folks. You can't argue with factual reporting and factual stories. Y'all want to live in la la land, talking pure foolishness and nonsense about, telling people the good things. We talk a lot about the good things that are happening in this country. But do you think that we're going to ignore those of you who are abusing our system, who are taking advantage of these foolish men just because your hair is straight and having these anchor babies just looking to stay here? You know how many babies her mother had here and none of those were for her husband all the way back in the Philippines? You know how many Filipinos reach out to me on a daily basis, also exposing the dirt in their own community? Yeah, y'all want us to ignore all of that because enough of you, just like Caymanians, out in these streets doing the most, and you don't want people to know your dirt. This is not the Compass, Bobo. Go read the fucking Compass, right? If you want them to pretend like all of you are here doing such great and wonderful things for this country, this is not the show for you. Okay? This is not the platform for you. I have no prejudices against anyone. But one thing I will tell you is you are not going to be allowed to come to this here country and fuck up this country like you've done your own countries and then have me sit back and say nothing and do nothing about it. If you want that kind of vibe, like I said, go to the Compass. Okay? They will give you that kind of vibe. They're not going to call y'all out. We're going to name you, we're going to shame you, and we are going to call you out. It is as simple as that. And I don't give two blood clot where you come from. You not know better. You come here with the right attitude. We are the most accepting people in the world. Trust me. I have sat down and broken bread with members of the Filipino community. They are, by and large, hardworking, et cetera, et cetera. But you think that y'all don't have crooks in your own community? You're not fooling me. Of course you have crooks. And they happen to be one of them. Huh? I judge people based on their actions. And so your actions is what will get you featured on this platform. I don't care about the color of your skin. I don't care how straight your hair is. I don't care how nappy your hair is. If you behave yourself, you have nothing to fear from Cayman Mall Road. If you're Caymanian, Jamaican, Puerto Rican, I don't give two cahoots where you come from. But when you get into pure foolishness and thievery and lies, then yes, see, I'm here.
Now the criminal element in the white marina.
Yes.
We are going to zero in by him.
So we zero in on all of you who are involved in foolishness. And it's as simple as that. And if you don't like it, you don't have to watch the show. You don't have to follow the platform. I don't give a cahoots. I don't really care. It's as simple as that. Okay? Straight? Do we understand each other? Don't tell me nothing about no children and saying nothing positive to children. What are you doing here assisting Caymanian children? Ask yourself that question. And I don't have to tell you what I do from what I don't do, but let me give you an example of how y'all don't have a clue and you want to be saying foolishness and trying to come for people. And I'm going to set you straight when you do so, because I love children and I want all children to grow up in a safe and happy and amazing environment. Right? I will go out of my way for children. It is good people bringing children into this world that you don't even want, that you're not going to take care of just because you're trying to stay in this country. And listen to me, let me be very, very clear, right? It would be one thing if you were like, okay, I want to stay in this country, right? Yes, I'm going to find myself a little Caymanian man, a little anchor baby, whatever, right? And you're going to behave yourselves. But the mere fact that you come here, do all of that, and still out here scamming people, having all these extramarital relationships, mashing up people's family, doing all this kind of stuff, I cannot respect it. Yeah? See my little friend yesterday, this little young man here, he's so sweet. Saw him at the grocery store yesterday, and his mom was picking up a little cake for him. She said, Miss Sandy, he loves you. Can he get a picture? Oh, look at him. We're going to post some birthday greetings. She said, can he get a picture with you? And I said, sure. So he took this little picture. She said, oh, by the way, today's his birthday. I'm picking up his cake. I said, girl, I will buy his little birthday cake for him. I said, the cake is on me. Pick up any other little things you want. He got some cake, some little chips. Then he saw one of the little cars that they have at the register, a little red truck that he wanted. He said, can I get this? I said, yes, it's your birthday. I'm treating for you for your birthday. What I'm going to suggest you do, right? As someone who don't know nothing about me and I don't like to talk about the things that I do. Let me be very, very clear. But since you want to go there, I'm going to invite you to make a contribution to the children in this community. When was the last time you went to the boys or girls home and made a donation? Took them some Christmas dinner, some little cakes or something that you baked or whatever. Y'all need to shut the fuck up. Because you come to Cayman, use and abuse us for everything that you can get. You're not giving back shit, right? And walking dogs every once in a blue moon to try and get status is not my definition of giving back. You don't do anything here. And then you have the audacity to come up on my platform and talk foolishness. Don't do it. Don't do it. Because I will check your ass. Okay? And I know that if you are supporting this woman and her anchor baby, you not know better than her. Because the number of Filipinos that her mother has hurt, her own people, who from all over the world, I even had to create a group. Hold on now. Let's talk some facts. I even had to create a Filipina group called Mary Jean's Victims. Yeah, see here, Mary Jean's Victims. See that? And all of these people, every single one of them are Filipinos. 971, that's not your area code. Every single one of them in this group is a Filipina or Filipino that has been hurt by Mary Jean and her scamming, which included her daughter. So do not come for me, right? And I don't care, like I said, where you come from. If you're on the right side of things, we good. If you're on the wrong side of things, then we got a problem. Houston, we have got a problem. And it's as simple as that. This is very, very, where's my little megaphone? So I can give you some special effects since y'all want to be trying me. Houston, we've got a serious cleanup in aisle 5, please. We can clean it up. We're going to expose every single one of you. That's one way of helping the government. I'm here to do my part. And I'm calling this one for what it is, an anchor baby. We know what this is all about. Immigration needs to deny her status. Yes, the poor little babies came on in. So of course she can stay. When she turns 18, she'll be able to get her acknowledgement. But the mother, no. You're not gonna get no rights off of this child. So what can I tell you? Except you ain't get what the duck that get, especially around Christmas time. Put in the pot. Sadiqa says exactly, not all Jamaicans, when Jamaican story comes up, they all happy. When it's another nationality, they want Miss Sandy to keep quiet. Continue, Miss Sandy, to speak the truth the hardcore way. You know, they'll be fine. All of them. All up in their feelings. What Trisha say? All these DJs married must be for or not married yet should have been looked into. Long time rubbish. All foreign DJs from Jamaica married. Oh my God, what a hot mess. Gabby says, clock it, Sandy. Trust and believe. The one that promotes crime is poverty. Very simple, common sense. You know, and again, they come here because Cayman has so much to offer that you do not get back home. This is the part that I don't get. Yet you want to bring your criminality and your shit to Cayman. We're not going to tolerate it. Okay? So sorry, but not sorry. Sure. Jamie says agreed. And like I said, if y'all feel so bad about it, you've got options. Don't listen. Go listen to somebody else. Morning, Amy. How come immigration didn't send the daughter home? Well, she not quite like the mother yet. So they sent the mother home because she keeps breaking the law. The daughter, we low key know is already starting to do stuff, but sometimes it takes a minute for the system to catch up with what they're doing. Now, I don't believe in judging people based on who your mama is or who your papa is, you know. I say give people the benefit of the doubt. But when you're this close, and here she's already trying to get PR, when you are this close to your mother as an adult and you are in the foolishness with her, that is when we say the apple never fall far from the tree. So come again, Ching Ling Wing Wing Wang, whatever your name is. And please know, by the way, I love your Chinese movies. Please keep making those. Those are amazing. I'm on, you know, Facebook. They're always popping up in my thing. Oh, watch this one about, you know, she comes back. She's reborn. I'm like, yes, sir. Here we go. And again, another one reborn. Got to fix her mistakes in life. I wish we all had that opportunity. Wouldn't that be grand? Anywho, you'll be fine. No insult meant, no insult taken. The truth is what it is. Don't need a crutch to stand on. We good? Anyway, I'm going to help members of my community now who need some stuff notarized. And that's the positive things that I will be doing today, along with many others. So I hope that those of you negative Nancys will go out there and likewise also, you know, do your part to make it a better world. So, yeah, I think we can all do that. Miss Sandra, ask him if he get the point. I think y'all are really beginning to enjoy that. Hold on. Let me get the audio ready. What a pint! What a pint! Did you get the pint? Here we go. What a pint! What a pint! Keith, it says freedom of speech, and I swear to tell the truth and nothing but the truth. So help me God. Oops. Where's my kaboom button? There we go. Gabby says I refuse y'all to come here and make Cayman get communist, because the day that happened, it will be war for y'all. Oh, no. They just want to bring the bad behavior and we must sit back and accept it. No, honey child, that's not going to work. Nope. Our forefathers worked too hard. That my Jamaican husband calling me now. Our forefathers worked too hard to make this the most amazing place in the country. We have to keep it that way. Good morning, Jamaican husband. What's going on? They say me don't like Jamaicans. Exactly. He's like, huh? Tell him I sure love you. Right from St. Mary. I'll call you back in 2 minutes. Give me 2 minutes. I'm going to wrap it up now. What happened? All right. I will call you back. Okay. I'll call you back. You see that? Good Jamaican husband. When he get on the phone with me, he don't want to go. He want to talk me to death. Mm-hmm. There's some good ones out there. You just got to find them, honey chill. Not easy, but it can be done. Somebody said just the other day, Boujou was cussing them thieves. They all need to go back to their shithole countries. Don't make ours like theirs. Lord God, what a heat. Oh my God. Oh, Lord, have mercy. This one says, I'm so happy you're saying this. Let me read this comment and then we'll start to wrap things up. No, sir. Y'all gotta do better. Dun. Right. Here's this comment. I'm just seeing this one. I'm so happy that you are saying this. True. By the way, I'm hearing right in government issues going on. There's a case I'm hearing of a positive hiring, and the qualification certification supplied are not legit. So child shit is going on and all around. But the process to get rid of them damn people is so long that by the time the process investigation ends, they will probably leave the jurisdiction and the public will have no clue that it has happened. Their lyrics sweet, and we sometimes fool too. The type and class of Jamaicans coming to Cayman these days are not the same. It's that simple. That is true. Even my grandfather would tell y'all that if he was alive today. He's like, and I know where these scruffer muffins coming out of Jamaica from. Some of them are so damn bad, their own country happy to know some of them leave Jamaica. You can hear it in the tone of even how their own elected leaders, when they try to explain and reason amongst themselves. But the breed of them that coming here is like at the bottom of the barrel, and they make it look bad for the good ones that are here. So true. Good morning, Carla.
Yeah, you know what you do for me? You find something better to do. Listen, this one, it's three things I want you to do.
Uh-huh.
Go get 2 breadfruit for me and
Lord
send them
God.
to Amazon. I
Yeah.
want the yellow heart one though. That's number
You're
one.
looking for some good
And you
yellow
know
heart.
the reason?
Look
Yeah,
here,
that's number one.
the
And
tree
the
kind of
next
full
thing
now,
I
you know?
want, hold on. The next thing I want you to do, the reason why you married Marlon, because
Yes.
you didn't have enough money to buy more comb. But you don't want no natty head.
You fool. Lord, I know that couldn't
And
be
the next one now, the last one now.
Miss Lucille,
The last
but
one.
wait.
Hold on. Hold on. The last one now. I'm giving you.
Oh, God.
You might go home this evening and find that divorce paper waiting for you to sign.
Lord God. Oh, Marlon
All
love,
right, then take
listen,
care.
Marlon love him, this Caymanian gal. Man, I know nothing but nobody else. What a song. Thanks, Miss Lucy. What a song called My Caymanian Girl. Oh yeah, he love his boy. No, I was gonna give you a joke about the hair, right? That couldn't have been it because Lord God, my daughter hair is so thick. Although I had really thick hair too, so I'm not gonna give Marlon all the credit. But what I would say is, what a heat! What a heat! You comb going through her hair. Her hair is so thick. You guys see the special brushes that we have to be ordering for her, honey child. Lord God, that is like, whoo, Rapunzel times 5. Long and thick. Only them Spanish people can handle her hair. No Jamaicans can handle that. Her aunts be like, oh, we can comb the hair for you when they visit. I be looking at them like, no, her texture different still, you know. It's long and thicker than theirs. Like they have the finer, more Indian, proper Indian hair. You know, because she's mixed now. She get the thickness. And them Spanish people, big shout out to Miss Rocio, Miss Andrea. Dominican, they hold it down. Honduran, they hold it down with the hair, boy. They can fix that up real nice, real quick. Mm-hmm. Well, you know her scruff of muffins before? Well, she said I hollered. Amy says it's when they try to spread the narrative that they came here to help Cayman. The gaslighting is crazy. Anyone could step foot in every country and see who needs the most help. Exactly. Poor things. Poor them. No. What a hot mess. Anywho, what I figure we will do now, honey child, give me a second, is we are going to, I might go check out some of those phones from Digicel because I think I might need another one for video. You know, by the way, those iPhones now, the iPhone 17, for quite a few models, you can do all your recording in an iPhone, you know? All your video recording, they are legit. They're good. I'm not a Samsung person. Okay? I can't talk about Samsung, but, and have you heard now that the criminals prefer iPhones in London and the UK? This is a funny story that I saw the other day, but the criminals are returning. Hear this story now. Hear this mix up. If the criminals, if they grab your phone on the streets and you have a, hold on here now. You have a Samsung phone, they throw it back at you. They do not want the Samsung phones. Apparently, they only want iPhones because they know the value that an iPhone holds is better than a Samsung phone. I'm like, what? That is so funny. No, sir. But it's true. Yep, they throw it right back at you. Say, no thanks. Looking for an iPhone. I said, oh, Lord, have mercy. All right, folks, so let's end the show on an absolutely positive note today. When you say criminals, I'm thinking you're referring to Jamaicans. What, Melissa, where did you come out from? In London? I have no clue who the criminals in London are. What the hell are you talking about? Nobody not talking about that. Jesus Christ. What is in the water today? Y'all just jump on here, never been on the show before, and you come with pure nonsense. Criminals come in all shapes and sizes. We're looking for one right now that happens to be a Caymanian. If you see him, call the popo. Come off of my fucking channel talking nonsense. Please and thank you. With all due to little no respect. Figure that one out. Anywho, we know y'all love a good song every once in a while. So celebrating all things Caymanian today, Bobos and TDs. Here's this one, a classic.
Song that all people in Cayman know, because this was a big hit around here for a long time.
That's right. Look at this one. Some talented people. Look at this.
All over the world.
Oh.
I've made love to many, many girls.
Oh yeah.
All the girls that I have met. You are the one girl that I can't forget. Come on, 'cause you're my
Caymanian girl. Sing it along with me, good folks. Beautiful. It comes in all shapes and sizes, all foods, beautiful colors. Saucy and some not so saucy. Yes, Irvin. Yep.
African girls are nice, nice girls. French girls too. When it comes to loving, I give the credit to you. You know how to do your thing to make your man feel right. Give him all the love you can. Hold him every night. You're my Caymanian girl. My Caymanian girl. My Caymanian girl. My Caymanian girl. I've traveled all over the world. I've made love to many, many girls. All the girls that I have met. You are the one girl I can't forget. Let's go. You're my Caymanian girl. My Caymanian girl. My Caymanian girl.
It's such a beautiful song. And you're right, Miss Brenda. I wish I could find the Pappy Conley version, but I don't see that one online anywhere. But here's another one. Let's see who's singing this one. I'm not sure who sings this one. I did find this one. So let's see what this one is. Hold on. Oh, this is like a new version. Look at that beautiful flag. Okay, this is... yeah, that's the rap version. We're not into that. Okay, you don't mess with that song with no rap. Keep it the same version. But yeah, I couldn't find the one by Pappy Conley. So I'm going to reach out to our good friends over at Radio Cayman and ask them for it, because I know he's the one that sings it the best, that we love. So as a matter of fact, let me message Radio Cayman right now, and I will have that on. I can add that to my collection. Yes. Beautiful. Okay. All right, my Caymanian girl. Make sure you know. Y'all have a yeah, I'm gonna get his version. I'll get a copy of his. Oh, one final call, honey child. You came in under the radar.
Sandra.
Yes, ma'am.
You're not gonna find it looking for Pappy Connolly. You're gonna find it looking for the Caymanians.
Oh, the Caymanians.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna start charging you for my knowledge and my history. You know?
Let me see.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. That was the band. That was the band that Pappy sang with. So it would be under the Cayman Airs. So check and see if you find it there.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, my darling.
Sandra, by the way, a quick question, because I know you're a computer based. Sandra, I just wrote a letter in Word. Now, this is a new computer to me, fairly new. It's one of these all-in-ones. And so I wrote the letter and I sent the letter to print, but it will not print. So I checked the printer. The print it's an online, when there's online, what do you call it, Wi-Fi printers, and it's the Wi-Fi is fine. The Wi-Fi on the computer is fine. I checked, it's giving me on the printer, it gives me the option to copy, scan, and fax and so on.
Yeah.
But it just won't print. I don't know why.
And who set up that computer and the printer for you? Because you got to make sure that was done correctly.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. If when he set it up, did he actually? But I thought that he had.
Have you tested it before? Did anything ever print from that computer?
Yeah, I printed stuff. Yeah.
Okay. So just off the top of my head, sometimes I don't know how many networks are in that environment, but sometimes they're like at a different network. So like for that little printer behind me, if I'm not in a particular network on my computer, I can't print to it. So there's different Wi-Fi networks. But when all else fails, just restart everything. Save your letter, restart the computer, restart the printer. Right? So make sure the printer's restarted before the computer and then restart the computer and see what happens. Because sometimes that'll force it to kind of resync and refine devices. But it sounds like it is, for some reason, your computer isn't actually connecting to whatever network. Because again, it's all wireless, right? It isn't connecting to the same network that the printer's on. And that's likely.
Maybe it's not connected at all.
Yeah,
the
that
printer
could be.
might not be.
Yeah.
The word app might not actually.
Well, as long as the computer theoretically, as long as the computer sees the printer and the two of those can communicate, anything you print from that should work fine. But restart everything, because sometimes, like I said, that'll force it to reset, and you probably will be good from there.
Yeah, well, I mean, I selected the right printer and everything, size paper, 1 page, and so, but I sent it to print 3 times now, and nothing is happening. So
yeah, and the funny thing is, when you restart everything, all those 3 will probably come out of the printer.
I know. That's why
they're in the queue somewhere.
Yeah.
Restart it. Let me know how it goes.
All righty. Thank you.
All right, my dear. Have a good one.
Okay.
All right, folks, that's it. The weekend is here. You guys have a beautiful, beautiful weekend. Listen, you can hate me for trying to make Cayman the best place in the world because this is my country. Yes, I actually have options, I can go elsewhere, but I don't want to go anywhere else. I would like to be able to stay here, raise my children. I'm only got one. My daughter and Zeus. Raise my family here, have a family here, build my future here, build my business here, because this is the best place in the world. Every time I travel, I went to Europe recently. Next, I'm going to Ecuador. I'm going to Turkey. These countries are interesting. Parts of their country I like. But when my foot hits that Cayman soil, I almost want to get on the ground and kiss the ground, because my daughter, last time we traveled, she's like, oh my gosh, there's no place like home. And I was like, oh, she gets it. There is no place like home. And this, right? Yes, so our home, so tiny, such a small little place on the map. It wasn't that long ago we did not even show up on maps. But you know what? Amazing people, happy people, right? Yes, we've done all these wonderful things, top financial center, blah, blah, blah. But no, it's about community. It's about good people and how we help each other, how we come together. And you know how I know that this is the best place in the world? Because 130 something different nationalities also think so. And that's why they come here. And so many don't want to leave. We're saying we will accommodate some of you. We can't take you all to our detriment. We will accommodate some of you, but you got to come here with the right attitude. Attitude is everything. Okay? Even the big countries, England, US, trying to get rid of people. What about poor little Cayman? Come on now. You got to come straight. So y'all have a safe and beautiful weekend. And for those of you newcomers, wish that England afford y'all that. Don't forget, home is where the heart is. Oh, Lord. England does very little for us, but if you say so. Bareback, Hurricane Melissa, and those of you who've never been on the show before, welcome. Welcome to the Cold Hard Truth. And we hope to see you here next week and the week after that and the week after that. Keep tuning in and listening. You'll see that one thing about this program is their consistency in messaging, right? We are fair to people. We help people in this community. We do not discriminate, but we tell the cold, hard truth. That's the name of the show. So if you're looking for someone who's going to pretend and tell you something that can make you feel good, this isn't the show for you. That's all I'm saying. You go over to another place for that kind of show. This show, we just give it to you raw. Simple as that. Okay. All right, folks, have a beautiful, beautiful weekend. Go enjoy some swanky, some turtle meat. Check out our good friends over at Chicken. Anthony, you were late. Go and hit that rewind button, honey child. And go grab yourselves a phone special from Digicel. I'm going to go by the store a little bit later on and check things out myself. And yeah, you guys have a wonderful and safe weekend, and we'll be back here. Here, Bareback, but he like it raw. Yes, sir. Well, that's how you're getting it on this show. I don't know how else you're getting it, but that's how you get it here. So anywho, enjoy the rest of your weekend, folks. And please be safe out there in the roadway. No drinking and driving. No stupidness and driving. Can we beg you to do that? All right. Until then, be good.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of The Cold Hard Truth on Bobo 89.1 FM. Cayman's #1 talk show is live weekdays from 7:30 a.m. Never miss an episode again. Watch anytime on CMR's Facebook and YouTube channels for the latest show episodes. Don't forget to follow us online on our social media channels. And visit CaymanMarlRoad.com for all the latest news and community happenings.